people across the region travelling for the Pan American Games Finals. The season's best is 75 metres 80, so watch out for him. He's in the ring now and he's trying a yellow hammer. So as we see the display board down there, we have Eoin, that means turn 1, CRC, Costa Rica, and we can see his name in yellow text.
First race here, the boys under 9. Again, these are very young athletes. Coming around the home straight, you have Healy, who's a Setanta champion. We have Gregson coming second, followed by Bandamacy, Ballymoor AC, and Eoin AC. Well done, young man. Keep going all the way to the end line. Good boy. Great running. Give great encouragement to her. So we have 2 races left in the boys on the 9.
Can Jim Collins, the photographer, please come to the presentation area, please? Ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us at the Cork City Sports, right here in front of the main stand, let me introduce to you our long jump for women, our 6 contestants in an event that is sponsored by Eoin, and we are very thankful and grateful for Eoin for their continued support of the Cork City Sports. Let me introduce our contestants, representing Ireland, Elizabeth Morland.
So you're doing something with Tulsen in a couple of minutes?
Representing Great Britain, Lucy Turner. Representing Ireland, Eoin O'Brien.
Yes, definitely working with the powers. There's accreditation.
Also representing Ireland, Rachel Bowler. Representing Poland, Carolina Zawila. And last but not least, in the women's long jump sponsored by Eoin. She's from Cork. She resides at Month of Eoin AC. She is the national senior champion. Imelda Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for long jump women contestants.
Well, sorry, Amsterdam, the European States area, I'd like to know my daughter's getting married.
Oh,
well, that's a good excuse. That's a good excuse.
So on the line, we have the final race of boys under 9. And coming up the back straight, we have this very young man from North Cork, a very, very young athlete, so give him a big cheer. Welcome, woo! So this is the final juvenile race on the track. And just again to say thank you to Cork 96 FM and C103 for sponsoring these juvenile events.
Yeah, do you want to go down to Tulsen now?
Oscar! Go, Oscar! Go, 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 Oscar! Go, go, go!
The final race of the boys under 9. 200 metres. And we have Legal AC, Limited AC, Limited AC in the lead, followed by Legal AC, So that's great. Well done, boys. Keep going. Come on, North Cork. Keep going to the end line. Well done. So that's the end of all our juvenile races. And just thank you to everyone who competed in all the clubs in Cork and Munster. And again, a great big thank you to 96FM and C103 for the sponsorship of the juvenile races.
Ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that a fantastic start to our Cork City 65th International Meet? The stars of the future, giving it everything for you at the theatre. Can you please show your appreciation once more for the future of Irish athletics, the young boys and girls from the athletic clubs in Cork and Munster. If you just joined us, you're very welcome to the official opening of the 65th meet. Can I formally welcome our first citizen, Lord Mayor Councillor Dennis Howe. Can I mention the County Mayor, Mr. Seamus McGrath, and welcome him and thank him for supporting tonight's event. Our special guest, Georgina Drum, the new President of the AAI, Mr. Frank Bolly, the President of the Cork City Sports and its hard-working committee, and of course, last but not least, Mr. Bill Allen, the Chairman of the County Board, AAI, and of course our athletes, and a special welcome to our sponsors, family and friends. We hope you enjoy what's about to unfold over the next hour and a half to 2 hours or so. Inish for Chassis Swiss. Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you all to stand and face our national flag for the national anthem.
Hello and welcome to the 65th edition of the Cork City Sports here at Cork. I tell you, rather windy afternoon and evening expected, a little bit of rain earlier in the day. It promises to be an outstanding event though. There's a good mix of both local and international athletes. And talking of international athletes, a man who's been to 3 Olympic Games himself, Dick Hooper, joins me. And Dick, from a perspective as an Irish point of view, what are we looking at as far as who we're going to look out for? Because we've obviously got Jason Smyth, the Paralympian, 4-time gold medalist, looking to get a qualifying time for the 100 metres, and Rob Heffernan, who was given a bronze medal for the 50-kilometre walk back in London 2012, not so long ago.
Yeah, I was in London that day that Rob got fourth, and it was absolutely thrilling event that day, and what a pity he didn't get the medal on the day. But this being Cork, obviously he is the the local hero, and it's great that he has taken time out from his training to go down to a distance as short as 3,000 metres and to tackle it. Alex Boyce, who trains with him, will be in the race and a couple of poles, so that's something to look forward to. Jason Smyth won the 100 metres in the national championships last weekend. He's looking for a fast time. Hopefully the wind won't affect that too much. It is a bit blustery, certainly for sprinters, but it is warm, which helps. I'm looking forward to seeing John Travers in the mile. He's up against Ryan Gregson, who's run 3:52. John has run 3:55 himself a couple of years ago. He's in good form. He won the nationals last weekend as well. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing Louise Shanahan in the 800 metres against Laura Crowe, local girls as well. So should be a good night's entertainment.
As far as when we're looking at it from an international point of view, obviously Collis Birmingham was a winner here in 2012 and 2013. He's qualified already for the Olympic Games there, so he's looking to get in some really good training for this year. He'd have to be the man to look out for in that race.
Oh yeah, Collis, I suppose, is the renowned star from overseas here. There's a lot of Australians here. The Australians, the New Zealanders, they tend to come early to Europe to get out of the winter from out there and to prepare for the games. So Collis would be the hot favourite for the 3,000, I would imagine.
How difficult is it from an athlete's point of view when you're trying to build up for the Olympics or the Paralympics and you're trying to pick and choose and make sure that you're in the right races?
Yeah, well, an example would be Collis there. He's going in the 1,500 metres in the Olympics. He's running 3,000 tonight, so he's doing that from a stamina point of view. There's a girl, Nikki Hamblin, a New Zealand girl. She's going in the 1,500 metres, and I see she's entered in the 8 and the 3 tonight. She's avoiding her prime event, so she's either looking for speed and stamina or a little test of either or, you know.
Well, we'll see how things go. I'll let you get up to the commentary box because you're going to be a busy man this evening, and he'll be up there with Will Downing.
And a very good evening for the 65th Cork City Sports. Our first event, the Junior Women's 800 metres. There are 8 going in this, 3 of whom were in the senior 800 metres final at the Nationals in the past 48 hours. Emmy Hamill has scrubbed from this. She was in lane 1, having finished 7th in the Nationals over 800 metres. Louise Shanahan finished 2nd behind Sheafra Cleary-Butner. She's in lane 3. And in lane 6, Aoife Mahoney, who finished in 6th position. So it's Aoife Delargy in 2, Louise Shanahan 3, Emma O'Brien 4, Rose Finnegan 5, Aoife Mahoney 6, Rachel Brown in 7, and Emmy O'Donoghue in lane 8. Fastest lifetime best, Louise Shanahan 2:08.15, and she goes out of lane 3. Yes, they just had to break for the time being, but wearing 6, Aoife Mahoney, who finished 6th in that women's 800 metres final at the Nationals from Listowel. Aoife Delargy from Nina Olympic, couple from Slicollen in Wicklow, Emma O'Brien and Rachel Brown. Emmy O'Donoghue is down as the pace athlete in the outside lane. But in terms of the overall schedule tonight, we'll be with you for around 3 hours. Women's 3,000 metres at 6:30. We've got a couple of para-athletics races as well, which will be very interesting. T44 men, that's amputee. That'll be at 6:45. There's T54 wheelchair over 800 metres at 7:35. The men's mile at 7:45 will be interesting. Ryan Gregson, John Travers, Ahmed Bile, Kevin Green, Brett Robinson, all in that. The 800 women after that, Laura Crowe and Nikki Hamblin from New Zealand. 800 men, Carl Griffin, who's off to the Euros, along with Eoin Everard. Luke Matthews, who's off to the Olympics for Australia. It will be a very interesting schedule. Emma O'Brien, the 17-year-old from Slicollen, 2:13, her lifetime best. Just a problem with the starting apparatus, we understand, which is what's caused the difficulty for the start of this women's junior 800 metres. Lovely conditions here. And as you'll see, the main stand already full. So lane 2 in this, it's Eoin from Nina Olympic. Under 18, 400 metres champion previously, and silver for Ireland in the 4x4 in the Celtic Games. Louise Shanahan in 3 from Lee Vale. So away we go, the 800 metres junior women. Eoin in lane 2, Louise Shanahan of Lee Vale in 3, Emma O'Brien of Cullen in 4, Rose Finnegan of Bohemian in 5, Aoife Manny of Listowel in 6, Rachel Brown of Cullen in 7, and Amy O'Donoghue is our pace athlete on the outside in lane 8. So on the inside at the moment, Delagi going quite well, but pushing forward here for Lee Vale is Louise Shanahan, second in the Nationals behind Sheafa Cleary-Butner. She will be still quite fresh after missing a lot of this season with the stress fracture, and she's taken a good position behind our pace athlete, Amy O'Donoghue, very early on.
Yeah, Amy O'Donoghue obviously is a senior athlete, but she's been good enough to take them along here tonight. Louise Shanahan has been a great prospect for a few years now, daughter of Ray, who coaches her, and she finished second on Sunday in the National Senior Championship, so she's in serious form at the moment, 2.8 already this year, so she's looking for a fast time, and she's running well on the inside lane.
And it's Louise Shanahan who's taking the lead ahead of Rose Finnegan as they hit the bell, and just behind them wearing 4 is Emma O'Brien, and then a bit of a gap back to 4th place and Aoife Manny of Listowel, because it's Amy O'Donoghue who's our pacemaker out in front, will be stepping off the track very shortly, and there's real jostling on the back straight to take the position. And she's still up there, Amy O'Donoghue, by the way, still on the track now. A bit of movement coming on the outside, as you can see, from Emma O'Brien, wearing 4 of Cullen, and even further on the outside, wearing 5 is Aoife Delagi of Nina Olympic. Amy O'Donoghue still going very well at the front of affairs here. It's Emma O'Brien takes up the story now with 200 to go, and who leads Lee Vale's Louise Shanahan. Rose Finnegan's up there as well in 3rd. But as they turn into the closing straight on the outside, here goes Louise Shanahan. It would be a home victory straight away if she could pull it off. She's found a way past Emma O'Brien. She's going to do it. It'll be Rose Finnegan in 3rd for Bohemian, but it's a home win for Louise Shanahan. She wins it. Emma O'Brien in 2nd place. And it's Shanahan's 3rd victory here in various age categories down through the years. She gets this event underway. The 800 junior women, the Cork City Sports, has a Cork City winner.
Nice turn of pace there from Louise to take care of the victory, but I was very impressed with Emma O'Brien from Cullen, who I would imagine ran a career best there tonight. She took about 4 seconds off her best time. She made a very bold move with 200 metres to go, and she took Louise probably by surprise, but Louise had that finish, and isn't it lovely to win on home soil?
Yeah, excellent finish. Came through in the final 100 metres. That's a result that will mean a lot in the Shanahan household. Amy O'Donoghue on pace, and she was very pacey in this, no doubt. And she stayed in it a long way, a lot longer than we were anticipating. Normally, domestically, they step off at the bell. She stepped off with 600 to go. But Shanahan making her move on the closing straight. But O'Donoghue stayed in quite a long way in this. But what a great surge towards the line right at the end. And it was victory for Louise Shanahan ahead of Emma O'Brien. 2:08.98 the winning time, created by somebody who knows a bit about the 800 metres, David Matthews. Louise Shanahan wins 2:08.99, Emma O'Brien in 2nd place 2:10.12, and Rose Finnegan in 3rd place 2:11.55. You can see a lot of bodies gathering over on the far side of the track. The men's 1500 metres junior will be up next, and there are 24 in this.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you turn your attention towards the field area of the sea at the athletic stadium.
So it's a very large field for the men's junior 1500 metres, and with the honour of wearing one from West Waterford AC, Sean Kern, for Lee Vale, Charlie O'Donoghue and his club colleagues, led by David Fox and Matt Renan. Ronan O'Grada of DSD with his teammate Paul O'Donnell all the way to Paul Tobin.
Michael Hartley. Representing Ireland, Dion Bryan.
Well, it really is a cluttered field for this 1500 metres. It will be a lot of fun to see how they deal with this. It'll obviously have to be a staggered start, due underway at 6:22. But Dick, I expect it'll be lots of the fun and games of the 1500 metres in this.
Yeah, people who don't run middle distance don't realise how physical this event is, and 800 metres are, because you have so much jostling for speed at a stage when athletes are running fast and they sort of get panicky about getting into the right position or whatever, and if they find themselves boxed they try to get out of it, and the most logical way to get out of it is to give a little nudge or a little shoulder to the guy outside you, and that can set off all sorts of problems. And you often see fallers in 1500 metres and 800 metre races, far more so than say in the longer races, because people have this feeling of panic when they're boxed in, because they know they're, in the case of 800 metres, they're only going to be out there for less than 2 minutes, and in the case of 400 or 1500 metres, they're going to be out there for less than 4 minutes, so they don't get a whole lot of time to make mistakes. But it's good experience for them actually to have such a good field. Normally you wouldn't have as many as 24 in a 1500 metre field. Probably the max you would see would be something around 15. And even 15 is a very large number, so 24 is particularly large number too. So it'll be interesting to see how it evolves. This 1500 metre junior race is firmly established in the programme of the Cork City Sports for many years, and is a very popular event and a great development event. And even last year this race was won by Killian Kerwin of Raheny, and he went on to run for Ireland in the European Juniors later on that summer. So you may be sure that the guys who star in this event today have their eyes on bigger events later in the year. And I see Sean Kern, for example, from West Waterford, who's the top rank going into it, has run 3:56 this year. Now that's a really good time for a junior, but Sean no doubt would be looking to get down closer to 3:50 and get down to serious business. So any young athlete who runs under 4 minutes is a serious athlete. So let's see how this race evolves.
So we're underway in the 1500 metres men's junior race, and there are 25 in this. Count them, 25. Sean Kern from West Waterford AC wearing one on the inside. Paul Tobin will be hitting the front and should be on pace-making duties here. You can see Patrick O'Rourke in the red of the Ennis Track Club in a good position too, but it's Lee Vale 1 and 2 at the moment. Charlie O'Donoghue and David Fox taking away the pace-making duties of Paul Tobin. 5 on the outside, Barry Keane of Waterford AC in the Waterford blue. Hasn't been much carnage here, which is good to see. Ronan O'Grada, the familiar green of DSD AC, tucked in well in the middle, but Barry Keane now moves up as he overtakes David Fox, knocks him down to 3rd place, and Charlie O'Donovan of Lee Vale in 2nd at the moment, behind our pacemaker Paul Tobin.
So the pacemaker is bringing them along at a roughly 4-minute pace. I expect that they'll go through 400 metres in around 63, 64 seconds, which is bang on 4-minute pace. Those who have ambitions to break 4 would want to get closer order and get closer to him. You can see how spread out the field is, but it's a magnificent sight to see 25 young men running fast and free down a back straight in Cork on a Tuesday evening.
Jamie Fallon's made a good move for Crockwell up on the outside. He's 3rd on the track at the moment, behind Charlie Donovan in 2nd place for Lee Vale, and Paul Tobin hitting the front right now, and Barry Keane there in the blue for Waterford AC. Also going very well, nicely tucked in. It's going to be interesting when they start accelerating. Well, there's been a bit of a movement. Charlie O'Donovan has moved away off the front with Paul Tobin. Slight gap back to Jamie Fallon in 3rd place. 2 laps to go. And now a good movement by Darren McElhenney of Bantry AC. He's in the blue. He moves up. ahead of Jamie Fallon. 2 laps to go. They went through in around 150.
Interesting to see that the fastest man in the field, Sean Kern, is well back in about 7th place, starting to move up there. He's moved up to 6th. The pace is not amazing. It's good, it's strong. It's about 2.6 at 800 metres, which is sub 4-minute pace. So the man, Charlie O'Donovan, looks the most likely at the moment because he's been set up nicely by the pacemaker, and Charlie looks on for a PB if he can stick with this pace.
Well, what a pace has been set here by Paul Tobin. Only one man's been able to stay up with him, that's Charlie O'Donovan. And just look at the gap. It's a large gap of around 15 metres at this stage. Way back to the men behind, and the third man at the moment is Darren McElhenney of Bantry AC, who made a very good movement around this stage in the last lap. Jack Boylan in 4th place. Back in 5th is David Fox. 6th is Sean Kern. 7th is Liam Harris. 8th is Rory Casey. As our pacemaker Paul Tobin comes through and hits the bell with Charlie O'Donovan. 2:53 they go through. Paul Tobin out in front. Charlie O'Donovan of Lee Vale in 2nd place. A large gap for these two way ahead of the rest. Now trying to bridge the gap is Darren McElhenney, and doing a very good job of it too. And these are our 3 as Paul Tobin steps off the track. It's Charlie O'Donovan who leads in 2nd place then. The great movement by Darren McElhenney of Bantry. It's way back to 3rd place. Looks to be David Fox who's back there at the moment. But we had a Lee Vale victor in the 800 women's junior, and now maybe in the 1500 junior men it'll be another Lee Vale victory. But Charlie O'Donovan has to fight very hard here to hold off Darren McElhenney of Bantry, who's worked very well. Way back in 3rd is David Fox, and the rest are just about nowhere. Here we come in towards the closing straight. It's Charlie O'Donovan who leads for Lee Vale. Darren McElhenney's well back in 2nd place. Charlie O'Donovan is going to get the victory for Lee Vale, and it'll be a good victory too. 3:54.37. 2nd is Darren McElhenney. David Fox is 3rd, and coming in 4th place was Liam Harris for Toker, and 5th was Barry Keane of Waterford AC. But that's a new lifetime best by 4 seconds. 3:54.37 for Charlie O'Donovan of Lee Vale, and Lee Vale have won the first 2 races here.
Oh, that's a magnificent win for Charlie. To take 4 seconds off his personal best on a night like tonight, that was a really great race, and it just shows you how important it is in the development of the sport that these guys can come along here and run on the big stage, and the big stage brought the best out of them. Charlie is absolutely delighted with his time. 4 seconds off his best, and the 2nd and 3rd, I'd imagine they were definitely under 4 minutes. They probably got personal bests out of it as well. So that's a great race, great night, and it shows that the conditions are conducive to fast running.
I think arguably they all did. Look at that field, 25 jostling for position, and Paul Tobin leading them round. It was a very good pace job that he did, but the only man who could stay with him was Charlie O'Donovan all the way up, and then that large gap back. Wearing 6, Darren McElhenney of Bantry, the 2nd youngest in the field at the age of 16. But O'Donovan holding on very well, coming towards the end, ahead of McElhenney. And it was a good break by David Fox of Lee Vale to try and make it a Club 1-2 in home soil. But it's Charlie O'Donovan who takes it in the end ahead of Darren McElhenney. Sonia O'Sullivan's here, and let's hear from her.
Thanks, Will. Sonia O'Sullivan has been kind enough to join us. Sonia, you're back in the country for a couple of weeks.
I am, yeah. I'm here ahead of the European Championships in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing some commentary for RTE, so I'm looking forward to that.
You must have very fond memories of this track and Cork in general.
Yeah, definitely of the Cork City Sports. I suppose my greatest memories were down in the Mardyke track, which is now the Sonia O'Sullivan track. This was known as the windy track out here. But yeah, no, I had a couple of runs out here as well. But you know, it's still the Cork City Sports, and you know, it was great to walk in here this evening and to hear the crowd cheering. You know, it's always good to nice atmosphere here.
And Nick's got a few runners running in tonight's events.
He does. He's got Ryan Gregson is running in the mile, and he's been running really well over 1500 this season. And Collis, Birmingham, and Sam McIntyre are running in the 3000 metres. So they're all hoping to be going to the Olympics in a few weeks' time also.
Tell me about this time of the year when you're building up to an Olympics from an athlete's point of view. How difficult is it, and you know, when you're trying to concentrate on these type of races, but at the same time you're looking ahead?
Well, you don't really look ahead. You just you know, you kind of concentrate on what you're doing, you know, each week as it comes along. And you know, at the moment, a lot of the European countries are kind of focused on, they have their national championships and they have the European championships coming up as well. So you know, athletes from Australia, they're kind of in no man's land. They have nothing much to do, so they're looking for races like this to kind of occupy themselves, because you can only train so much, and you do every now and then need to check on how you're going with a few races. And for the 3 Australian boys here tonight, for them it'll be all about racing. I don't think it's about fast times. They've done the fast times, so now they'll be practicing some racing skills here tonight.
Well, enjoy the rest of your night, and thanks for joining us.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
So our next event on the track is the women's 3,000 metres, and we've got 5 on the start list for this. Great to get Sonia on board here for another year. So this is the women's 3,000 metres just getting underway. Nikki Hamblin of New Zealand, Josephine Moultrie of Great Britain, Sarah Tracy of Ireland, Diana Martín of Spain, and Matilda Koval of Poland. There are 5 starters in this. Mariola Sluzarczyk of Poland was due to start in this as well, but she, in the end, couldn't make it here. Actually, she missed a flight due to traffic from the airport in Wrocław last night, so that was the end of her, I'm afraid. Sluzarczyk, by the way, would have been a very good entry in this, but just look at the crowds here. Nikki Hamblin, wearing 1 for New Zealand, the Commonwealth Games silver medalist in the 800 and the 1500 metres, is Matilda Koval, who finished 4th in the 3,000 steeplechase of the European under-23s last year. She's taking position in 3rd at the moment, behind 2nd place Sarah Tracy, who's on the plane to Amsterdam for the Euros next week and the Olympic Games in Rio in August. And it's our pacemaker leading the way.
Yeah, Sarah is rounding into very good shape. She was 2nd in the 1500 metres in the national championships on Sunday behind Ciara McGean. Her aim for the season, she's 2 really. She's going in the steeplechase, 3,000 metre steeplechase in both the Europeans in Amsterdam next week, and then later on in the summer the Olympic Games 3,000 metre steeplechase. So she's using the likes of this race to hone in on her speed and to work on the different aspects of technique that don't involve the hurdle. So Sarah's personal best is 9 minutes and 6 seconds on the flat, so she'd be looking for a time close to 9 minutes just to see where she's at this point in time. But she showed on Sunday in Santry in the 1500 metres that she's in very good shape. Sarah's a very fine cross-country runner as well. She was on an Irish cross-country team that got 3rd in the European Championships 2 years ago, so she's great pedigree, great strength, and she also has a fair old kick when she's put to it.
Some great results in the European cross-country for the Irish women over the last 5-6 years. Carol Finn, our pacemaker, still leading them through, but Sarah Tracy in a very good position in that red singlet at the moment. 2nd behind Ciara McGean in the national championships over the past 48 hours. She was the reigning national champion going into that. Part of the 3 who qualified for the World Championships in Beijing and the Olympic Games as well, and what a burgeoning Irish team we have for that, and also for the European Championships, 52 strong in that. Matilda Koval just behind Tracy and wearing 1, Nikki Hamblin of New Zealand, the Kiwi 1500 metres record holder, and then just taking up the rear, Diana Martín of Spain, Josephine Moultrie of Great Britain, of Scotland. Moultrie wearing 2, Martín wearing 4. She's already qualified for Rio for Spain as Diana Martín. 5 laps to go, they go through in just around 3:01.
Okay, Carol Finn has done a great job. I should have mentioned that Carol, of course, is running in the steeplechase in both the Europeans and the Olympics as a teammate of Sarah Tracy, so she's given her buddy a good handout tonight. She did a great job for the first kilometre. She brought them through in 3 minutes and 1 second. Sarah was on PB pace, but now Sarah finds herself out in front, so she needs a hand. And it doesn't look like any of the 4 girls behind are particularly anxious to help at the moment, which kind of means that they're running at a pace that they're maxed out at. So interesting laps ahead to see, can Sarah maintain this kind of pace.
Slightly exposed to the front of the moment is Sarah Tracy, 3rd in the European Team Championships in Heraklion in Crete last year. Ireland regularly coming up with good results in that European Team Championships, not being held in Olympic years. So we're back again in 2017, but Ireland have had a very good push for promotion the last 3 years or so, and remember, they were the best team on the track 2 years ago in talent. It's still Sarah Tracy who leads. I'm just wondering if she's desiring to let somebody else take up the work at the front at the moment, but she's still holding it up. Yeah, leaving a little gap in the inside, but so far Matilda Koval is not looking to take it up, and we've 4 to go.
Yeah, and you can see that the pace has dropped quite dramatically on that lap. It's 4 seconds down on the previous laps. Sarah's not comfortable in that leading position, and she knows that they're queuing up behind her, and she knows that's not the position to be in unless you're actually going for broke and you're going for the race. Nikki Hamblin would be the pedigree of the field. She's the fastest lady in it, 8:51. Very, very good speed as well. She's run 1:59 for 800 meters, so she looks to have all the attributes here. And Sarah's in the position she probably doesn't want to be at this stage.
Well, she's having to put a lot of the work in at the moment. It's herself, Michelle Finn, Kerry O'Flaherty, who qualified in that great meeting up in Letterkenny for the World Championships and the Olympic Games. And she's in that European team as well next week. 10 of that 52-strong team are representative of the Cork City Sports tonight. Now a little bit of movement on the inside coming from Matilda Koval of Poland. It's a good, strong field that generally a lot of the steeplechasers do appear on the flat in the Irish meetings. Tracy still taking it out ahead of Koval, and third at the moment, Nikki Hamblin, the double silver at the Commonwealth Games in Delhi in 2010. But she went out in the heat of the World Championship, and now Tracy stepped back. Diana Martín of Spain from Madrid has moved up. We'll be seeing her in Rio in the red of Spain, and we've got 2 laps to go. Martín leads the way. Hamblin in second place. Tracy in third, was burnt up a little bit. Koval in fourth, and moving back in fifth place, the Glaswegian, Joe Moultrie.
Yeah, this is a crucial stage for Sarah now. She was in front for so long. She didn't want to be for the last 600 meters. So now the 2 girls have jumped her. Now if she can stick with them and settle down, then she'll weather this storm. But right now she's in the midst of a crisis because the 2 girls have passed her. They're going faster than her, and she's got to try and react. And you can see there that the gap is opening slightly. So Sarah's got to put the head down, concentrate on what's ahead of her, and hang on there. She's under a bit of pressure.
Diana Martín leads for Spain ahead of Nikki Hamblin for New Zealand. And they're in a very prime position here as they come down the closing straight. Next time they come down here, they'll be heading for the bell, but it's 2 laps to go. It's Martín ahead of Hamblin in this women's 3,000 meters, and bit of a gap has opened up here. Martín leads, they go through in 6:46. Hamblin in second place. Matilda Koval of Poland in third. Sarah Tracy of Ireland in fourth, who led for a lot of this race, but maybe expended a little bit too much energy in those opening laps because the action is happening right ahead of her, with Martín leading and Hamblin looking to make a little bit of a move, maybe up right alongside, and by a long way, there are 1-2.
Yeah, Martín has a personal best of 9 minutes 6 seconds, which is 15 seconds slower on paper than Hamblin. So it looks inevitable what's going to happen here unless Martín has new form altogether. Hamblin is sitting in there most frustratingly on the corner of Martín, just biding her time, and one suspects that when she hits the bell, she's just going to take off.
600 meters to go in the women's 3,000 meters. 2 ahead of the rest. Diana Martín of Spain, Nikki Hamblin of New Zealand. It's quite a gap they've opened up with Matilda Koval of Poland back in third place. Sarah Tracy back in fourth, another 30 meters back or so, but here they come down for the penultimate time. This for 2,600 meters, and it's Diana Martín still alongside Hamblin. They're the 1-2 as they hit the bell, and quite a gap of around 20 meters back. Back to Hamblin in New Zealand in third place, and Tracy in fourth for Ireland.
Yeah, Sarah's a little bit adrift now. She may have a go at third. She always finishes strong, but the real race is up front. Martín is heading down the back straight with Hamblin on her shoulder, just looking poised, but Martín has stuck in there very well. We're looking at about a winning time, I'd imagine, of 9 minutes 6 seconds, that kind of area, which would be equal to Martin's best. So Hamblin is well within her comfort zone, and she seems just very happy just to sit there and sit and sit. She must have every confidence in her finishing kick.
Yes, she stayed there for a long time, has Nikki Hamblin. Diana Martín there as well. Matilda Koval had stayed back alongside Tracy for a long time, but here's the kick. Here goes Hamblin now on the way to victory, surely, for New Zealand in the women's 3,000 meters. One final turn into the closing straight, and Diana Martín looks spent now, the Madrileño. It's Nikki Hamblin who's on her way to win in Cork at the CIT track for New Zealand. The double Commonwealth Games medalist from Delhi in 2010, 9:07.55 she wins. Diana Martín is in second place, and it will be third for Matilda Koval of Poland. She opened up enough of a gap in the end for Sarah Tracy of Ireland, back in fourth place, but it's victory for New Zealand and Nikki Hamblin, and that was impressive in the final 200.
Yeah, New Zealand has a wonderful tradition in 3,000 metre running for women. One thinks back to the days of Anne O'Dane, Lorraine Moller, Alison Rowe, former Commonwealth champions, medalists, and they've always been competitive over that kind of distance, and it looks like Nikki Hamblin is continuing the great tradition.
Yeah, she put a huge amount into that, you have to say, and she stayed up all the way with Diana Martín. Good win for her, 8:51 her lifetime best. So let's hear from her.
Nikki, how do you feel after that?
I'm pretty tired, like it's kind of windy out there, so I was just trying to sit in and use my strength, which is my kick at the end. But really great meet, really good field of girls, and it's always nice to come away with a win.
Obviously you're at the Olympics in the 1,500 metres. Disappointment in 2012. How much are you looking forward to this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to, you know, this time around. I missed 4 years ago with injury, and that was obviously quite a big hit to take, but you know, I just looking forward, and yeah, excited to go to Rio and see what I can do.
Just finally, you're running in the 800 as well?
Yeah, I think so. My coach's idea, like, run an 8 on tired legs and see how you can go, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay, thanks very much. Get the lactic acid burn.
Thank you.
Very, very impressive, wasn't it, in the end? Carol Finn leading them round at first, the pacemaker Sarah Tracy leading for the opening few laps and having to lead because nobody else wanted to do the spade work alongside. Matilda Koval had the opportunity to move in, but Tracy had to do all the work herself. And just look at Nikki Hamblin there all the way through, comfortably in third, with Koval behind her. And then the movement on the outside from Diana Martín. Tracy overtaken in one fell swoop, moved back to third. And then it was between Martín and Hamblin all the way through. From 800 metres to go, then the bell, and then that final brilliant break with 200 metres to go. Hamblin wouldn't be denied this time. Good victory over Diana Martín. And that's a nice win. 9:07.55, the winning time. On track at the moment, by the way, a reception for the 3 Cork medalists at the recent IPC Athletics European Championships in Gregson in Italy. And we've got a power event coming up next, the 100 metres T44.
She was recently named as one of the IPC's athletes to watch for Rio 2016.
Felix Streng, the 2014 European champion over 200 metres, goes in this, and Ronald Hertog, a regular medalist in the long jump and the sprints. Levi Violet and Pepin de Groot are also in this. Levi Violet wearing 4, and alongside him, Ronald Hertog. Really well worth looking out for here. And Felix Streng of Bayer Leverkusen, who won gold for Germany in the 4x1 in the Europeans in Grosseto 2 weeks ago, silver in the 100, the 200 and the long jump, and alongside him wearing 5 for the Netherlands, Pepin de Groot, who hasn't competed in a major championship previously. He's from Haarlemmer. And Phil Healy, you can see behind, waiting for her turn.
Well done to our Paralympians, and hopefully they'll all get slots at the Rio Games, and their manager is Dr. Curtin.
Yeah, you saw that special presentation there. For Orla Barry and Niamh McCarthy. So T44, it's the 100 meters men's. And some really strong quality.
In second place, representing Spain, Diana Martín.
Phil Healy out on track ahead of the women's 100 meters.
And the winner, athlete with number 1 on her number, on her shirt, representing New Zealand, Nikki Hapland. Ladies and gentlemen,
well, all 5 of the Irish team who are in the European 4x100 meters relay squad for Amsterdam next week in the European Championships. They feature here.
Interestingly, Ireland have 4 teams in the relays in the European Championships next week, which is, I think, a first for the country. So it's a great sign that the sprinting element of the sport is really still developing. And it's great also to see that the 5 ladies in the panel for the relay team next weekend are prepared to put their reputations on the line and to race against each other and use this Cork event as part of their training. Great to see them all here. Phil Healy obviously is having a fantastic season both on the track and in a global sense on YouTube, the now famous relay from the Irish University Championships. I don't know how many 100,000s of viewings it's had, but if anybody needs 4 minutes of entertainment, tune into YouTube and Phil Healy and you will certainly see some great entertainment there.
Ciara Neville, the intermediate schools champion over 100 and 200 and the record holder as well, but Phil Healy right alongside, wearing 2. I remember started the year tying with Amy Foster, winning a semi-final in Athlone at the AIT Indoor Grand Prix and ran very close in that 60 final. Wearing 4, Joan Healy, 2 years Phil's elder. Niamh Whelan as well alongside wearing 3, who won gold in the 200 meters and silver in the 100 at the Nationals this week. Niamh Whelan from Ferrybank, who's in that European relay team. Sarah Murray, Phil Healy, Joan Healy, Catherine McManus, all there too. What a year it's been for Phil Healy already. Lots of medals in the universities. She was second in the 400 meters at the Nationals over the weekend and quite a few Irish indoor records earlier in the year. So it's Elaine O'Neill, who was due to be in 1, along with Sarah Murray, Phil Healy, Ciara Neville, Joan Healy, Niamh Whelan, Corinne Humphreys, Catherine McManus. And away we go, the first time of asking. Phil Healy's absolutely gliding here out of lane 3, but it's Joan Healy who's really going to test it. It's Phil Healy who's going to win it. Phil Healy takes it, tight on the line between Ciara Neville and Joan Healy. Niamh Whelan actually up there as well, but it's Phil Healy who takes that in 11.53, and that was very, very comfortable indeed. That's actually tying a season's best, and it's not far outside her lifetime best of 11.49. Great running from Phil Healy, and she takes the honours here. Bandon AC, and it's another big result and another big win in probably the season of her life. Then we probably say that about her every year.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation is for the 100 people.
Yeah, interesting that Phil should equal her time there. She did look good. She certainly is always willing to put herself on the line there, and that's what I like about her. She's a good attitude, good racer, and that's a great ingredient to bring to a major games.
Yeah, great result for Phil Healy. Another big win in what's turning out to be an excellent season for her.
Phil, how does that feel?
It
actually felt really good. I was kind of nervous coming into today because I haven't run a 100 in a few weeks, because I'd stepped it up to the 400 in the last few weeks. So to come out and jump into a 100 was good. Shorter distance, no lactic today. So I actually really enjoyed it, and I really love competing here on home turf in CIT.
And exciting times as well with the European Championships coming up shortly.
Definitely, yeah. We fly off next Monday, so I'll be competing in the 4x1 and the 4x4 there. So it's really exciting to have both relays. It's a really big squad this year for the Irish, with 4 relay teams going, and I don't think that's ever happened before. So it's really good, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, Phil Healy, supreme in this in the end. Joan alongside her and Kieran Neville, Neil Whelan. It was a very, very strong field in this women's 100 metres. But look at that, away she went, and she wouldn't be stopped really in the end. Joan Healy coming up very well, wearing 4, and it was Niamh Whelan alongside, just edged out on the line, 11:53. Phil Healy winning it, Joan Healy second, Niamh Whelan in third. I'm afraid the live results system has broken down, which is why we're not getting results at the moment. But we'll see if we can get that fixed for you.
Now it's a wonderfully exciting group of sprinters lining up here for the super value 100 metres for men. 7 competitors. They'll include the fastest Paralympian on the planet, and they'll also include the happiest Icelandic man in Ireland yesterday, because he flew in plenty of time for this. The full introduction for the super value 100 metres for men.
Yeah, an exquisite field for this men's 100 metres. Well, Jason Smyth goes in his men's 100 metres. The reigning Paralympic and world champion over 100 metres. But it's a strong field. Jonathan Brown of Great Britain also going in this from Kent. Wearing 6 there, you saw Peter Pave of Bulgaria. Well, there he is in lane 4, Jason Smyth, the reigning 100 metres world champion. Kieran Elliott, Ari Bragi Karasson of Iceland. Massive celebrations for him last night, and why not? Wearing 6, Peter Pave of Bulgaria, 20-year-old from Sofia, who set his season's best of 10:76 in Sofia this year.
5 of these athletes, Daly, Brown, Peve, Harrison, and Elliott, 5 of those will also be running in the 200 metres, so plenty of time to know these. It was 10:93, Streng won the T44 100 metres area.
So run through the field is Peter Pave of Bulgaria in lane 1, Jonathan Brown of Great Britain in lane 2, Kieran Daly of Great Britain in lane 3, Jason Smyth of Ireland in 4, Aidan Sires of Britain in 5, Ari Bragi Karasson of Iceland in lane 6, Kieran Elliott of Ireland in lane 7, Christopher Sabanda of Ireland in 8, and John Atagade of Great Britain. He's on the inside, but yeah, here he is, Jason Smyth, the Paralympic double champion over 100 and 200 metres in Beijing in 2008 and London 2012. Did the double of the World Championships in Assen in the Netherlands in 06, again in Lyon in 2013, and just went for the 100 in Doha. Didn't compete at the Europeans in Grosseto a couple of weeks ago, but Ireland still won 5 medals, 2 of them gold.
Harrison from Iceland is 6. Elliot from North Sligo is in 7. And Peter Portugade is in 8.
So Smyth in 4, Sires of Great Britain in 5, Harrison of Iceland in lane 6. Smyth 4th from the right. So away first time, excellent start by the new Irish 100 metres champion Jason Smyth, and he's flying at the moment alongside him. Aidan Sires is giving a real push at the moment. Is Smyth going to be able to hold on? I don't think he is, and it's taken by Kieran Daly of Great Britain, with Sires in 2nd place, and Smyth looked to be in 3rd. 10:43, very, very impressive. That's the season's best for Daly.
Yeah, I suppose the fastest man in the field should win, and that's what's just happened there. It was a good race, very, very even. I think Jason might have even got pipped for 3rd there, Willie. I think possibly 4th. You could throw a blanket across 2nd, 3rd and 4th there, but no doubt about Kieran Daly winning the race.
Yeah, excellent result for Kieran Daly of Britain, 10.43 his winning time. And he wasn't going to be stopped from there. Brilliantly done. Came well in the final 50.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation is the Hammer for Men's, and the sponsor once again, as it was in that famous night in 1984, is O'Callaghan Properties. Representing O'Callaghan Properties is the CEO, Mr. Eoin O'Callaghan, and his special guest of the evening. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to give a big Cork welcome?
So Jason Smyth, who's eased off a lot of this year, but now he's got his eyes firmly fixed on the Paralympic Games in Rio. Great start it was by Smyth, but just edged out, I think, down into 4th in the end as Kieran Daly took it. Aidan Sires taking 2nd place, and it might just have been 3rd
Jason,
in the end for Carson, but Smyth 4th.
Tightened up a bit towards the end.
Yeah, I did. Felt like I got out all right. Still improvements to be made, but then I felt people pressing on at me at the end, and I made the mistake of tightening up. But you know, it happens. But it's great to be here and be here in Cork and competing, and there's a great atmosphere here as well. So can't complain too much.
I know you're putting a lot of emphasis on that Olympic qualifying time of 10:16. Do you feel that's maybe making you tighten up and really push a bit towards the end?
To be honest, this year of racing, I haven't really been thinking about it. You know, I felt like I needed to be running quicker earlier in the season to be realistic at the 10:16. So, you know, to be honest, at this stage, in fact, I don't even have any more races left. So, I mean, it's unfortunately it's not going to happen, but you know, I still look forward to the Paralympics in September.
Just finally, how has having a child changed your life?
In many ways, as I'm sure many people are aware. So, I mean, it's incredible to have my daughter Evie. It changes just the way you look at things. It changes what's really important, and you know, at the same time, it's not easy, and it's not easy to juggle. I used to get lots of sleep and have lots of time, but those days are gone.
Welcome to the real world. Say hello to them at home if you want.
Does it get better?
It does get better, trust me. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
What a crowd we have here. Wind was +3 there, which means that there was a lifetime best for Ari Bragi Carson, who's looking for a new Icelandic national record there, and he did beat the 10:56 mark, which has lasted almost 20 years. But because of the wind, +3 at their backs, that means all the results get wiped out in terms of lifetime bests and national records, which it would have been. What a month it's been for Icelandic sport, eh? There was a good win for Kieran Daly in the end, and he's due to go in the 200 metres later.
placed in the Finn Duggan of Happy Spiders, just up the road, with a clearance of 188.
So let's run through some of the results we've had already. Felix Streng of Germany taking the men's 100 metres T44, 10.97 seconds. Ronald Hertog of the Netherlands in second place, 11.76. And Levi Violet of the Netherlands third, 12.27. Women's 100 metres, Phil Healy taking that, 11.52. Joan Healy second for Ireland, 11.73. Niamh Whelan third for Ireland, 11.74, with Ciara Neville in fourth.
In third place.
Women's 3,000 metres, Nikki Hamblin taking that for New Zealand, 9:07.55. Diana Martín of Spain second, 9:10.38. And third, Matilda Koval of Poland, 9:15.09, with Sarah Tracy down in fourth, 9:20.57. Junior women's 800 metres won by Louise Shannon of Valleyvale, 2:08.99. Emma O'Brien of Schlee-Cullen in second place, and Rose Finnegan of Bohermeen in third. 2:10.12, 2:11.55 in second and third. Junior men's 1,500 metres, Charlie O'Donovan of Leevale AC taking that, 3:54.36 ahead of Darragh McElhenney of Bantry and David Fox of Leevale.
Fastest Paralympian in the planet, Jason Smyth, has finished his 100 metres. Next up is the Cork Airport sponsored walk over 3,000 metres, where we have the
I'm afraid the live results are down, which is why we're unable to put them on screen for you.
Robert Heffernan competing with 5 other race walkers. It's an event way
There's
short of what
Ari Bragi Karasson of Iceland there, and he did indeed take third place in the end ahead of Jason Smyth, with Aidan Sayers finishing in second place.
as the race persists. And we've 6 athletes in all. Robert Heffernan, I'll tell you a little bit more about him as if it was needed, is wearing number 1. Alex Wright, the recently crowned 20k national champion.
Well, next up on the track will be the men's 3,000 metres walk. 6 going in this, including Ireland's Olympic team of 3.
Another man from Poland, Jakob Jelinek, with 18 both
Crowd have come out
in the north of the country.
to enjoy this.
Now Cork wearing number 5 is Brendan Boyce, and from Westport to County Mayo wearing number 6, the youngest of the 6, 16 McMeniman.
So there's Rob Heffernan, the 2013 world champion, now with 3 major championship medals to his name, the 2012 Olympics and the Europeans of 2010. Brendan Boyce and Alex Wright in this also. And for Poland, Gregor Sudol and Jakub Jelonek. Cian McMenamin from Ireland, the other entrant of the 6 here. And always great for this Cork crowd to have such a brilliant home champion in which to cheer on.
Yeah, it's very interesting that walkers, I couldn't imagine marathon runners being willing to put themselves out over 2,000 or 3,000 metres at this stage of their preparation for a major games on the track in front of a large crowd. It would just seem so alien. But the walkers are unique in so many ways, and it's great that they're willing to show us their skills, show us their technique over a distance that would be totally alien to them at this stage. The sheer speed of 3,000 metres compared to the 50k that Rob and Alex Boyce now are preparing for in a few weeks' time in Rio must seem a world away. But the Cork public love this man, Rob Heffernan. He's done so much for the country. He's a world champion, as we know. He's now an Olympic bronze medalist, as he should have been back in London 4 years ago. And he's going to yet another Olympic Games, his 5th Olympic Games in Rio, a magnificent achievement. So this would make him one of the great Irish sportsmen, if not ever, certainly of recent times. And it's wonderful that he's prepared to interrupt his training, come here and share his skill and his expertise and his sheer pleasure that he gives to walking, and the way he promotes it. And it's an education to watch these men glide over the ground so fast, and you see that in no better place than on a track, and that's what Rob and his fellow walkers are going to do now over the next 11 to 12 minutes.
11 minutes 10, the lifetime best of Rob Heffernan. Lots of field events going on as well there, and you just got a fleeting glimpse of Noah Lenihan, European champion in the discus. She's competing in the women's shot put here. Bit more of that further up.
Significant that he's there on the left because 42 years ago, Frank Wally won both the 100 and the 200 metres at the Cork City Sports, and the active members of the committee now.
Well, here's the man that so many have come to see, Rob Heffernan, going in the men's 3,000 metres walk.
So down by the 200-metre mark, you see our 6 walkers, two from Poland.
4 representing Ireland and 2 for Poland.
Wearing number 3, he's compared to Jakob Jelinek wearing number 4. The 2 from Poland, Jelinek, I believe, means little deer, like Bambi. Robert Heffernan wearing number 1.
So away we go then, the men's 3,000 metres walk. Rob Heffernan of Ireland wearing 1, Alex Wright, Lee Vale in Ireland wearing 2, Gregor Szudol of Poland wearing 3, Jakob Jelinek of Poland, Brennan Boyce of Letterkenny AC in Ireland, and Cian McMenamin of Westport AC in Ireland. Already the conversation started between Rob Heffernan and Alex Wright, the national champion for 2016, who won here at the Cork City Sports last year. Heffernan, Wright and Boyce in the Irish Olympic team. And it being an Olympic year, there's no walks at the European Championships in Amsterdam next week, unfortunately.
Very significant there. Rob is coaching Alex. Rob's wearing 1, Alex is wearing 2, the master and the pupil. And the master doesn't like getting beaten by the pupil, so no doubt at some stage Rob is going to try and get rid of the pupil in the context of this race. So, but the pupil then, of course, always likes to put one up on the master. So it's going to be, if nothing else, the little bit of local politics involved in this will be interesting.
Yes, it's a 3,000 metres race this year. It was 5,000 last year.
One can't appreciate how much of a shock this is to athletes who would be training for 50k to have to go flat out for 3k. It certainly is what we athletes call blowing the tubes out, and they would be going at a pace that is just alien to them at this point in their training. So I'd imagine they'll find this hard tonight in its own way, and they'll wonder, how the heck do we cover 50k anyway?
Yes, we've also got action coming up in the men's high jump, just to show you a little bit later. The starters in this: Barry Pender, the new national champion of St Albans AC, Ryan Boniface of Great Britain, Michael Hartley of Britain, David Cusson, Dion Ryan and Ben Donovan, all of Ireland's 6 starters in that men's high jump from the FMC International. You can see shot put action as well about to begin for the women.
The poles, of course, have a great tradition in walking, and there's 2 of the poles here. The wonderful thing about the whole walking community is that they're, I suppose because they're smaller than the running community, they are very close, and they're never afraid to compete against each other and share training ideas and be supportive of each other in general. So whilst Rob and Alex would be out there competing against these 2 poles, you'd no doubt they know them very well and have probably trained with them in the past and have probably been acting as hosts to them while they've been in Cork over the last few days. I wouldn't be surprised to have been out training together over the last couple of days. That's the kind of camaraderie there is amongst the walking community.
It's a good pace being led by Rob Heffernan, slightly at the moment. Alex Wright in second place, the man who's come across to Lee Vale representing Ireland now. That good victory on this track 12 months ago, competed in Beijing around the Bird's Nest, the track that was set up. It's normally a 2-kilometre loop that they have near the major stadium these days. You'll remember when Olav Lochnan was second past the line. It was eventually a gold medal in Berlin. She crossed the Brandenburg Gate. Was tried for a few years having city centre courses. I thought it worked very well. Got a great atmosphere, got the crowds out, got the public out who otherwise might not go, have gone to the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, though they had crowds of 70,000 every night there. So 5 laps to go. Alex Wright taking up for Ireland in this men's 3,000 metres walk, ahead of Rob Heffernan in second place. Third is Gregor Sudol of Poland. Fourth is Jakub Jelinek, also of Poland. Sudol, who won silver in the men's 50k at the Europeans in Barcelona in 2010, bronze in the 2009 World Championships over 50k. And Jakub Jelinek has won major medals, mainly at the European Race Walking Cup, silver in 2011, bronze in the team in 2013. He finished 8th in the 20k walk.
Alex is actually putting it up to Rob there now. He's taken over the lead, but Rob has dropped in behind him rather than being on his shoulder, and you can see that Rob is really concentrating. So Alex may be more suited to the shorter distance than Rob at this stage of his career, and he's really putting it up to Rob there. But Rob appears to be walking well. Just thinking back to the London Olympics and how walking came to the community there. I was in London the day Rob walked the 50k, and we queued for 2 hours to get a spot so as we could view that. It was on a 2k loop, so we saw them. They went up and down 25 times, so we saw them 50 times in all going up and down, and it was absolutely marvellous, the support for the athletes. And Rob, of course, had a load of his friends and colleagues over from Cork and Ireland, and he had tremendous support there, and it was just an absolutely wonderful occasion. And whilst the fourth was a brilliant achievement, you almost feel he was robbed, because had he got a bronze medal that day, if you think that the recent Euro Championships was exciting for the athletics community, it would have been absolutely tremendous. But as they go down the back straight, you can see what I was talking about there, that Alex might just have that little bit of leg speed on Rob. There's no crisis going on in Rob. Rob is a strong man, he's an endurance animal, and he's getting a great workout here, but Alex is really stretching him here over the far shorter distance.
Yeah, it is a sprint for Rob Heffernan. Don't worry about that. We've seen him going out at 16, 17 times this mark regularly over 50k. He finished third in a 5k walk in Spain on Sunday. Flew back here especially today. I think arrived about 4 o'clock here. And he finds himself in second place behind the national champion, Alex Wright. But it's over the longer distances where Heffernan really does ace. As we know well, 3 major championship medals. I can understand why they don't do walks at European Championships and Olympic years, because you'd have 2 major championship walks within 4 weeks of each other. Still, it is a little bit of a loss in a way that we don't have Rob and Alex there, and Brendan Boyce. There will be a half marathon, by the way. Very strong Irish squad picked of that. 52 in all going to Amsterdam. 3 laps to go. Alex Wright leads by around 3 seconds from Rob Heffernan in second place. Third is Gregor Sudol of Poland, and a bit of a gap back to fourth for Brendan Boyce of Ireland. Fifth is Cian McMenamin, and sixth is the other Polandist, Jelinek.
You will have noticed there, as Alex Boyce came up the home straight there, that he was given a yellow warning. A card was brandished in front of him, so now Alex is on a yellow card, which means he must have been seen lifting. Now, a walker, when they are trying to go as fast as they can and to get the max out of them themselves, they always run the risk of lifting, and they haven't really tested themselves fully, I feel, unless they've got at least one warning. So, but Alex is clearly under the eyes of the judges now, and he's been watched very closely. Rob would have become aware of that yellow card that Alex has got. That would have given him a bit of a lift, and he'll be buoyed up by that. But interestingly, the pack then behind Rob in turn are starting to close. So this race ain't over yet, and there's a good battle out there.
Yeah, it's 3 strikes and you're out in the walk, but over 3,000 metres. They won't be accumulating as many of them as you normally would, thankfully. But look at that lead for Alex Wright, looking very, very strong. 2 laps to go in this men's 3,000 metres walk. Alex Wright, who won the national title last weekend, the defending champion here in the men's walk of the Cork City Sports, representing Leevale. It's a lead now of around 20 metres over Rob Heffernan, back in second place, the 2013 world champion. But what a battle he had in Beijing back in August. Struggling, there'd been injury trouble going into it, still managed to cross the line in 5th place. Very fast, searing heat, as always is the case at World Championships, and no doubt will be the case in Rio as well. How Alex shapes up in Rio is going to be very, very interesting. He's ever improving, has to iron out the technique, obviously. don't want to be picking up warnings. Looks like the right will be picking up success here, but Heffernan, that shot obviously foreshortens it. Back in second place. There's the real shot. What a gap it is. It's around 30 metres now.
Yeah, Alex looks like if he can hold his form, hold his technique together, he looks like he's on his way. It's a big gap. It's not an insurmountable gap though, and I'm pleased with Rob's form. He really looks good there today. As I say, he's not really as fast on paper as Alex, but he certainly has the endurance and the whole toughness and iron that's needed for the upcoming battle in the 50k. I think Rob is in really, really good shape here, and he'll take a lot of heart from this performance tonight. Coming up to the bell.
Well, they both look very fit. They both look in very good form. Alex Wright will take the bell, leading for Ireland, and he'll take it inside 10 minutes, and Rob Heffernan will be as well. I'll tell you what, Rob is beginning to cut that gap back a little bit. It's certainly not the huge margin that it was 200 metres ago, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to reel Alex Wright in before the line, or will he? Third place is Gregor Sudol of Poland, but it's Wright who leads, Heffernan in second, Sudol in third, and fourth is Brendan Boyce.
I don't think Rob is going to catch Alex tonight. Alex is really walking well, so is Rob. It's a good race, but it's a big gap. And over 3,000 metres, I don't think Rob has enough time to close this gap. But I have to keep reiterating, I would be very happy with the form of both men here tonight. They're showing that their training is going well. They have a good element of sharpness in their walking at the moment. Their technique is good, and they're really performing well here tonight, as are the other Irish walkers, Brendan Boyce and young Cian McMenamin.
Yeah, he's having a little look down at the watches, Rob. Obviously, he's got a time which is the target for him here, and he's doing very well indeed. He looks comfortable, he looks very fit, but Alex Wright is the man who's got the best view of all, right out in the front here, and he's going to retain his Cork title. No real doubt about it. His lifetime best is 11:19.33. He's not going to be very far off it. Rob Heffernan's coming brilliantly behind him. That's going to be the Cork 1-2. Alex Wright of Lee Vale. Rob Heffernan took it, and Alex Wright takes it. That's going to be a lifetime best for him, 11:13.95. Rob Heffernan in second place, but no concern at all. He looks really good and in fine fettle. And in third place, it's going to be Gregor Sudol for Poland, who comes through in around 11:25. Alex Wright retains his title, did it very well, but Rob Heffernan looked very well in second as well.
Oh, indeed. I think Rob will be very pleased. I clocked Rob at 11:16 crossing the line there, just 6 seconds outside his best. For a man who's only 6 or 7 weeks away from an Olympic 50k, to walk that fast over such a short distance at this stage of his career is really, really encouraging. He looks the best he's looked in a couple of years. There's a steely look about him in his eye. There's a determination about him. I don't think he'll be a little bit peeved that he got beaten on Irish soil, but I don't think he'll be totally surprised by it. I don't think he'll be unduly upset by it. There's bigger days to come.
Yeah, Brendan Boyce put a lot of that in the fourth, but let's hear from the top two there with Tulsen.
Alex, a very solid win. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, delighted. It's just a bit of fun for us. We don't usually race over 3Ks, so I mean we're training very hard at the moment. So just to come out here and race 3Ks, you know, just for a bit of a spectacle. So I'm very happy with it. You
guys are obviously training for a much bigger distance at the moment. You say there with a shorter distance. How does that change your strategy?
Just that it's a much harder, much faster than we usually kind of walk. But I mean. Yeah, it's good. It's just a bit of fun for us, so very happy.
Right, I'm going to bring your training partner in, Rob Heffernan here. He's just in the background. Rob, you came across obviously this afternoon. You're going back tomorrow morning, so the two of you are training very hard for a much bigger distance.
We're training very hard. I always knew Alex is really, really fast, so my kids were really strong, and I was hoping if I just got a bit of a sniff at the end that I would catch him. I think I came back another little bit in the last 100, but Alex is national record holder for 3K. So he just doesn't have the profile because he doesn't have medals, but he's a very strong athlete, and the lads behind me, I haven't beaten him this year. So no, it's a very good test. It's short, but it's a good anaerobic test, you know.
You were both here last year. Just tell me how important this is for you to make sure that you come back to Cork to race here.
Yeah, I love it. It's so important for Cork to showcase their profile athletes, and I'm honoured I'm in that position because, you know, I used to come here asking Sonia O'Sullivan for her autograph and Mark Carroll, and when I was a kid, Marcus O'Sullivan. So for me to be talked in the same breath, it's a huge honour for me, and I love it. I love the Cork City Sports, and I'm going to be involved with it for many years to come.
It's been a great couple of months as well, retrospectively picking up that bronze medal for 2012.
Yeah, it's great. It's great for athletics in Cork, and you know, I'm going to have the ceremony in Cork after the Olympics, and it'll be a massive occasion for all the Cork and Ireland to celebrate. Like, you know, it's only our 4th ever Olympic track and field medal, so it's, you know, it's another huge honour for me. So it's great.
Fingers crossed you might have 2 to celebrate.
Yeah, that's the plan. And even after today, I raced a 5k 2 nights ago, and even off of that, I took a massive jump again tonight. So and I'm in the middle of a big mileage. So yeah, fingers crossed, I'm going to go to Rio, and you know, I'll give it everything. Win, lose or draw.
Best of luck to you and to Alex.
Thank you.
Fared very well in that, Rob Heffernan. 2nd place for him in the end, but Alex Wright looked really comfortable indeed. Always had a good margin over Heffernan after a couple of laps in this men's 3,000 metres walk. And pushed away to win. 11:13.95 is a new lifetime best by 6 seconds for him. Heffernan wasn't very far behind at all. Kept his pace going. Really was running against the clock, walking against the clock more than anything else. And Wright takes the honours just as he did here at last year's Cork City Sports. Inside 11:14 and Heffernan in 2nd place. So Alex Wright wins 11:13.94, Rob Heffernan 11:18.65, and Gregor Sudol 3rd for Poland, with Brendan Boyce in 4th. Well, away we go in the women's 100 hurdles, and it's Moreland in 3, Bennett 4, Turner 5, Taylor in lane 6. And it's a great start this. Moreland's going to come through, and that's a good victory in the end in this women's 100 metres hurdles. It's 13.70, and that was very, very good indeed. That looks as if it'll be a lifetime best. Remember, the wind readings have been very, very strong today. It is Elizabeth Moreland who wins it, and her lifetime best is 13.80. She did run 13.62 at the World Youth Championships in Cali last year, and 13.70, very, very close to that. But Moreland gets the win in that women's 100 metres hurdles. Well, she beat British opposition there, and Gemma Bennett and Lucy Turner.
Mr. Tony O'Connell, the chairman of the Cork City Sports, and Mr. Frank Wally, the president of the Cork City Sports. In 3rd place in the 2,000 metre walk for men, sponsored by the Cork Airport.
Gemma Bennett alongside her in the inside lane. Moreland getting off well and keeping it going. Winning in 13.70 with Bennett 2nd.
Representing Poland. In 2nd place, needing no introduction, our world champion, the people's champion, Robert Heffernan.
Elizabeth Moreland winning, 13.68. Gemma Bennett in 2nd, 13.88, with Lucy Turner 3rd and Kate Taylor in 4th.
The pupil outdoing the master in this
Taylor, who won silver in the nationals behind Liliana Hora over the weekend. Now let's go to the women's shot put. Alana Frattaroli of Limerick AC representing Ireland in this competition, which is just getting underway. Claire Fitzgerald won the shot and the discus over the weekend at the National Championships. Frattaroli, lifetime best of 12.89. And that is 10 metres 84. Aileen Hallahan is next to throw. 10.84 then for Frattaroli. Aileen Hallahan from Middleton AC. In this for Germany is Lena Urbanic, the Universiade, the World University Games champion from last year in Guangzhou, former European Junior champion in Tallinn in 2011, and the World Youth champion from Brixen in Italy in 2009. So she's the one definitely to watch in this. 9 metres 46 is Hallahan's opener.
And our amputations. Some will have more levels of ability than others. We have 5 athletes, 4 of whom competed against each other in Santry just last Sunday.
Noel Lenihan of North Cork AC. It's been a great time in the para-athletic scene for Ireland. Noel Lenihan, Orla Barry, Niamh McCarthy, all winning medals in Grosseto. In the throwing events, there was no Jason Smyth or Michael McKillop there, but Ireland still performed brilliantly. 8 metres 39 for her. Laura McSweeney then, 13.10 a lifetime best. That's a really solid throw. Put her in a very, very strong position in the early exchanges here. Representing Bandon AC, also UCC. She's a powerlifter too.
Representing the United States, George Fields.
12 metres 73. And that puts her in pole position. Puts her into the lead.
Representing Ireland, our national champion, Adam McMullen.
So Frattaroli throwing again. This is next round. Urbanik supposed to be in the starting lineup, but obviously, evidently, not throwing here now. Frattaroli then has a strong competition, strong opportunity to get a victory here. If she can match a lifetime best, get close to it, could be victory for her here. 12.73 is the lead of the moment for McSweeney. Frattaroli throwing 10.84, but she's thrown 12.89 in her career. That's a big improvement. 12 metres 20, and she stays in second place. 5 minutes till the next event on the track, which is 800 metres wheelchair race, T54. So Aideen Hallahan of Middleton. And that's a solid one. Again, around the 10-metre mark. 9.46 she threw in the opening round. So it's McSweeney leading 12.73. And Frattaroli 12 metres 20. Nine metres 52, and it improves for her by 6 centimetres. So Noel Lenihan then.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next presentation is the 100-metre hurdles for women, sponsored by the O'Leary Insurance Group. And the presentation party will include...
That's a solid throw.
The Cork City Sports, and Peter and Anthony O'Leary of the
8.39 in the opening round.
In third place, representing Great Britain,
Noel Lenihan, a brilliant para-athlete. And so too are these. 800 metres T54 men's wheelchair coming up next. And there's 5 in this. Isaac Towers of Great Britain. Gold in the 800 metres, silver in the 4, bronze in the 2 in Grosseto at the European Championships. Having won 2 medals, silver in the 8 and bronze in the 4. In 2014 in Swansea in the Europeans. Jack Agnew as well, who won the national championships of the weekend, ahead of Isaac Towers, who was a guest athlete. Patrick Monaghan of Ireland was in 3rd place in that. He goes in this as well, having finished 23rd in the men's marathon. In the World Championship last year, it was the London Marathon, though. They didn't have marathons in Doha because of the heat. Belfast Marathon winner 2014, Monaghan is. He goes in lane 6. 3rd in the Dublin Marathon of 2013. Sean Frame of Scotland. Great Britain, and Will Smith of Great Britain go in this as well.
Now the lineup for the T54 men's 800 metres. In lane 3, representing Great Britain, we have Isaac Towers. In 4, Jack Agnew, who won the race in Santry. In lane 5, we have Will Smith from Great Britain. In lane 6, Patrick Monaghan, man from Naas. And in lane 7, from Lockerbie in Scotland, Sean Frame. Finished just in about 140, 145. Over to you, Mr. Starker.
So Towers, all those medals, 3 in Grosseto, and he finished 4th in the 100 metres final He's a T34 athlete, which is a cerebral palsy wheelchair category. But up against the T54s here, it'll be competitive. So it's Isaac Towers in 3, Jack Agnew in 4, Will Smith in 5, Patrick Monaghan in 6, and Sean Frame in lane 7. And it's Agnew and Smith who are going away well. Towers, because he's a T34, will find a little bit of tough going very early on. It's been a very good start in lane 4 here by Jack Agnew of Banbridge. Northern Ireland wheelchair basketball player, he is in his day as well. Will Smith coming up well as well behind him. But it's Towers back in 3rd at the moment. It's Agnew and Smith, the 1-2. Towers at the moment is behind Monaghan there, 3rd and 4th. But it's been a very, very good start here for Jack Agnew as they jostle into position. This is with the best T54s in the world. This is very fast, it's very exciting. They're getting into position very well when the best of the best come against each other. But it's Jack Agnew, who won in the national championship of the weekend, leading it out at the moment, ahead of Will Smith. Now it's really tightened up. Towers ahead of Smith, now in 3rd place. Wearing 3, it's Patrick Monaghan. Coming up behind him is Isaac Towers. They've left Sean Frame behind at the moment, but it's still Agnew who's leading the way here with 200 metres to go. It's Agnew and Smith, the 1-2. Now a little bit of movement coming up on the outside. Towers, who's had great success at major IPC athletics events in the past 2-3 years. He's got lots of medals to his name. Now a bit of movement coming on the outside. It's good work coming from Smith. Smith, who finished 5th in the 1500 metres of the Europeans in Swansea in 2014. It's Smith who hits the front ahead of Agnew. This is going to be a good win. It's Will Smith who wins it. It's 2nd place in the end, Agnew. Will Smith wins, Agnew in 2nd place, and it was 150 in the end that took it. Good win, he pounced at the right time. Brought it through. Towers and Monaghan, 3rd and 4th. But that's a good win in the end for Will Smith. Agnew had led throughout that.
Yeah, it's not unlike a cycling race, the way they draft off each other and wait for the one move and one move only type scene in the home straight. In actual fact, unlike an 800-metre foot race, they came home faster than they went out. They went out in about 53, 54. They came home in 50, 51, and that all came down to the kick off the final bend. It was a very fine race, very evenly matched, the first 4 there, and Patrick Monaghan did very well as well.
Yeah, it was absolutely great work, you have to say. In the closing straight from Will Smith, knew exactly what he needed to do to get past Jack Agnew. Smith wasn't in that Nationals race as a guest at the weekend. Isaac Towers was. He finished a little bit back in there. He was trying to push up into the 3rd place, but Will Smith making the push right towards the line ahead of Jack Agnew, and that was an excellent win for him in the end. Ronald Hertog of the Netherlands goes in the men's long jump. Well, Marcus Rame, very much a 650 man. A longer leap from Rame than Greg Rutherford in his World Championships in Doha, ahead of Rutherford's World Championship success in Beijing back in August. Hertog, who has finished behind him in that, but he's a good candidate here in the long jump. Gets it out to around 7 metres. Hertog generally better in the long jump than he is on the track in terms of medal successes.
2 sub-4-minute miles. The mile has always attracted and fascinated, and as the distance of the imperial distance.
Nobody's surrendering just yet.
All over the world, it has dominated.
Wearing 2 there in the men's long jump, by the way, is Ezekiel Awulo.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation is the T54 wheelchair for men's in an event sponsored by Leisure World, and we are very grateful to Mr. Mark McManus and Melanie O'Neill Director for his support, and they will be part of a presentation party that includes map and the award of the Cork City Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, in third place in the 800 P54 wheelchair.
So Will Smith wins 146.12. Jack Agnew in second place 146.35. Was Isaac Stars in third 147.20.
In second place, representing Northern Ireland, Jack Agnew. And the winner of the 800-metre T54 wheelchair.
And this the presentation for that men's T54, the wheelchair race. When you've got the likes of David Ware and Marcel Hoog, Kenny Van Weigel, the Thai athletes, it's always a huge amount of fun. T54 is pretty much the most competitive, the fastest of the wheelchair disciplines, and it is really thrilling to watch. And the Paralympic Games, as usual in Rio, will be a lot of fun. This is David John Martin of Scotland in the opening exchanges of the men's long jump. Is right in front of the crowd. Gets his competition underway. Decent effort. David John Martin, it's his first attempt in the competition. Very competitive field that they've been able to put together here. But in terms of the national championships that were on at the weekend, brilliant crowd here again. Martin pulsating down the track. So for Bandon AC, finished second in the national championships behind Adam McMullen of Crusaders. This is Shane Howard. Can he reverse that result this time against the international field? And goes out, I think, beyond 7 meters. Excellent pace down the track. Hertog went out to 6:71, by the way, with his opening round attempt. It's George Fields of the USA who leads 7:32. He's just been overtaken actually by Adam McMullen, 7:38. McMullen leads 7:38, Fields 7:32, Awulo in third, 6:86. And George Fields is next to go. So here he comes for the United States. 7:32, needs an extra 6 centimeters to go in front. That was a foul by both David John Martin and Shane Howard, we saw, and that's a good effort out towards 7 meters. As you'll see, the athletes getting ready for the next event on the track. That's the men's mile. We'll bring you up to speed with our leaders' result later. George Fields needs 6 more centimeters, but before that, it's the men's mile, and Ryan Gregson from Australia won the mile here at the Cork City Sports in 2012. The 1500 metres Irish national champion John Travers in this as well. Ahmed Bile of the United States, son of the 80s Somalian great Abdi Bile. Richard Weir of Great Britain, Brett Robinson of Australia, Dave Flynn, Dean Cronin. It's a good squad, but John Travers won the Dublin Road Mile at Phoenix Park back in April. Great run in Prague through the rounds at the Europeans last year. The athlete from Donor Harriers, and now the national 1500 metres champion.
Is wearing number 10. From Poland, we have Simon Krajcek. And out on the outside,
Brett Robinson of Australia, Canberra, won the 3,000 metres here last year at the Cork City Sports. Alongside him, Richard Weir of Great Britain, 8th in the mile in 2015. So away we go. It's Gregson, Travers, Belay, Hurst, Green, Weir, Robinson, Flynn, Seisman, Ashcroft, Crouchick and Cronin. They're the 12 in this. Dean Cronin's our pacemaker, and he sets out straight away in the green singlet.
Yes, we're here in the mile, and Cork loves its mile. It's been on the go since way back in the 70s. John Hartnett, once upon a time when the Cork City Sports was run on grass in the Mardyke, ran 3:56.3 and electrified the world. It was a world-leading mark at that time. Since then, we've had the likes of Sidney Marie, Steve Ovett, Cork's Marcus O'Sullivan, Mark Carroll, John Walker, Eamon Coughlin, Ray Flynn, all gracing this stage. Tonight we have Ryan Gregson from Australia, a 3:52 miler, up against the national 1500 metre champion of Ireland, John Travers, and a host of other sub-4 minute milers.
Well, Dean Cronin bringing them around, and just, you would have seen that brilliant surge in the back straight with about 200 metres gone by Ahmed Belay of the United States to move up. And now alongside him is Richard Weir, wearing one Ryan Gregson of Australia, 3:52. Lifetime best 3:52.24, and this season he's run 3:52.59, his best 1500 metres in 4 years. They're really being spread out. Dean Cronin is running a very fast pace. It is a good lead at the moment being set here by Richard Weir in the white for Derby. 8th in last year's mile, but still quite a distance to go. But there's around 40 metres from 1st to 12th at the moment.
It has to be said that Dean Cronin is doing a really good job. He's stringing them out, he's running fast, and Ryan Gregson would need to get himself together there. He's at the back of the field with his compatriot. He'd need to start moving up. John Travers is ahead of them. John is in a good position, and John's problem has always been concentration. John ran 3:55 in the Morton Mile a couple of years ago. He electrified the Dublin crowd. Can he electrify the Cork crowd here tonight and give us an Irish victory? He certainly has the form, but Ryan Gregson is two behind him, tracking him carefully. He obviously views him as the man to beat.
Weir, Gregson, Belay, Crouchick behind the pacemaker Dean Cronin at the moment. He went up quite early, Richard Weir, after Ahmed Belay made that surge away. Without our pacemaker, Belay currently in 3rd place. We're holding on quite well for Great Britain at the moment, but Ryan Gregson has been up at the 4 all the way through. Also in a good position in 6th place is John Ashcroft. John Travers is tucked in, you'll see, around 6th to 7th place, and Brett Robinson wearing actually an identical singlet right behind him as well. Pacemaker's done his job. It's Richard Weir who takes it up. Gregson is in 2nd place. Belay's in 3rd. And in 4th is Simon Crouchick of Poland. They send a very good team here. And moving on the outside now is John Travers.
Unfortunately, the pace has slowed a little bit, and we'll do well to get a sub-4 minute mile unless we are going to get a fast lap. How fast, we don't know. John Travers is in a good position now. I suspect he's going to make a move. He's going to have to make a move if he's to beat someone as good as Ryan Gregson. The big two are at the front as we take the bell in 3:05.
It's Gregson who leads. It's Travers in 2nd place. Belay is up there. They're the leading 3 at the moment. Also trying to make a move in the outside. He hasn't gone away. The Pole, Simon Crouchick. Now they're really beginning to wind it up with 300 remaining. Now can Travers make a little bit of move on the outside? The pace is really quick in here. It's Ryan Gregson leading for Australia. Belay staying in 3rd place. Crouchick in 4th. But Gregson still is defending his line very well. Travers has to go sometime. He's looking to put the foot down with 200 to go, and on the inside it's Belay who takes 2nd place. Travers has moved back down to 3rd, and Gregson's pulling away. Belay's trying to go with it. It's Travers back in 3rd. Really good pace being shown by these two. It's Ryan Gregson coming through for Australia. Belay, can he reel him in? Philip Sessamon of Britain's moving up into 3rd place. Travers down in 4th. Gregson's going to come through to win ahead of Belay, and it's 4:01.38. Sessamon in 3rd, Travers in 4th, and it was Brett Robinson in 5th. That ended up being a very good race, not a fast one, but a very good competitive one nonetheless.
Good race from a competitive point of view, anti-climax from a time point of view. It was too slow on the 2nd lap, the time disappeared. The 3rd lap then, 3:05 at the bell, wasn't fast enough to produce that sub-4 mile.
Yeah, good win by Ryan Gregson, 4:01.38. He takes the acclaim of the Cork City crowd. Just a shame from Travers' point of view in the end, as he was trying to push up, take the honours, that he moved back in the end down into 4th place. Brilliant crowd, full stand here at the CIT track. As usual, nice smattering of fans around the arena as well. Well, John Travers won the national championship on Sunday. and he always had a huge amount of home support here. Away they went, and just in the end, Travers held on quite well. Belay made a very good early move here, impressively so. Kept a good momentum behind the pacemaker, Dean Cronin. Then a little bit of a move up by Richard Weir. He stayed there for a couple of laps. Ryan Gregson was never going to go away. Belay stayed up with him.
Yeah, Ryan is the class of the field. He's a 352 miler. He obviously was happy with his speed and his training, and he was possibly using this as a tactical type of race to see how he could react and how fast he could run a last lap off a relatively slow pace. 3:05 at the bell is too slow if you want to run a sub 4 minute mile, and from that perspective they left themselves with a lot to do. But you can see even the gaps he opened over the last 200 metres show that he's in good nick, and he's a man to watch when you get to Rio. He certainly looks like a semi-finalist stroke finalist in Rio.
Ryan Gregson gets the win in the men's mile, 4:01.37 the winning time. Belay in second, 4:02.15, with Sessamon in third, Travers fourth, and Robinson came through in fifth place. We're in sixth.
In second place, representing the USA, Ahmed Belay.
Good race that actually in the end. I know not in terms of the time. People love seeing the 4 minute mark beaten regularly. 7 Corkmen have gone sub 4. John Hartnett, Mark Carroll, Marcus O'Sullivan, Kieran Stack, Des English, Ken Nason and Kieran Leonard. And the action continues with the women's 800 metres. Five go in this. Nikki Hamblin is back again for New Zealand. Laura Crowe, great competitor, along with Fiona Kehoe, Mihaela Nunu of Romania, the Steaua Bucharest club. 2:02.57 set 2 years ago in Bucharest, her lifetime best. And Natalie Ware of Derby is in this also.
This is a very interesting double that Nikki Hamblin is chasing tonight. She's already won the 3,000 metres, and now she's choosing to go on the 800 metres. It's a tough double. 3,000 metres was a tough race earlier on, and Nikki had to run fast on the last lap to win it. She's going in the 1,500 in the Olympics, I understand. That's her main event, so she's obviously using these two events from a training perspective. But it'll be interesting to see how good an 800 metres she can run off the fact that she ran at 3,000 metres about an hour ago in just over 9 minutes.
Wearing 3, Mihaela Nunu of Romania. Could be a live candidate here. Fiona Kehoe of Ireland from Kilmore in Wexford.
Good to see Laura Crowe here today. She's been rather quiet this season so far. Laura always gives value for money, and I'd expect a good run from her here tonight.
So underway in the women's 800 metres, it's Hamblin in New Zealand, Crowe of Ireland, Kehoe of Ireland, Nunu of Romania and Ware of Great Britain. And Laura Crowe, well, it's been very gratifying to see her competing in the likes of the Diamond League in Oslo in the past few years. Has been quiet the last couple of seasons, little bit of injury as well along the way. She's taken the front. Nunu in second place for Romania. Fiona Kehoe, the national indoor champion, the bronze medal 2015 in the 800 metres behind Kira Everard and Ashlyn Crossy. It was Wexford's only medal actually in the national indoors last year. From Kilmore, she lies in third place at the moment. Hamblin and Ware back in fourth and fifth at the moment. How about this for a lead for Laura Crowe? Trying to get a big result here for Ireland. And maybe a good time as well. His season's best is 2:04.09. It would be very, very profitable for her. Nunu's in second place at the moment. It's Kehoe in third, Hamblin in fourth, and we're in 5th, and she storms through the bell in around a minute.
You have to hand it to Laura. She's done exactly what she should have done, because Hamlin is bound to be tired after 3,000 metres. Laura's hit her with a stormer of a first lap. You can see that Hamlin is struggling there. She may work her way up to second off sheer strength, but she'll do well to catch Laura.
Yeah, flying at the moment. Look at the lead for Laura Crowe, around 40 metres at the moment, with Nunu way back in second place. Fiona Cahoe working hard to defend third place behind Nikki Hamlin at the moment. It would have been quite a double if she'd been able to do that. 3,800 in the same night. But as the rain begins to pitter down here in Cork, in West Cork City, what a lead. Brilliant lead for Laura Crowe. But it's being reeled down quickly by Nunu.
She's got
Can
100
she hold
metres.
on? Does she know that she's coming? Does she know that the lead is being whittled down stride by stride? She put a huge amount into this Crowe. She's holding off Nunu. It's quite a finish. Crowe's dying, but she's going to win it. 2:05.76. Oh, she had to really dig into the well for that. Laura Crowe wins it with Michaela Nunu in second place for Romania, and Fiona Cahoe did indeed come through. I think she took third place ahead of Hamlin, but wow, she really had to fight hard and defend that well.
Oh, that's a great victory. It has to be one of the most significant victories of her career here on home soil. Total courage, total conviction, she just gave herself totally in that race, and it's absolutely magnificent. I'm delighted for her.
That's a brilliant win for Laura Crowe. And Nunu came really well. Laura Crowe, our winner. And that was just sensational. Well, not a quiet season for her anymore. What a brilliant lead that was for her, that she opened up over Nunu. Around 30-40 metres. Looked as if she was going to maintain it, and then Nunu just fought back brilliantly. Crowe beginning to tie up in the final 200 metres, particularly in the final 50 metres of the race. Fighting hard all the time to try and keep up was Nunu, but Crowe held on just, only just. Good win, 2:05.76. And here she is.
Laurie held on there at the end. How are the legs feeling?
Not too bad. It's windy all night, but I enjoyed that now. First time winner of that, so I'm delighted.
It's all of a sudden, the conditions all of a sudden changed just before the race. How much more difficult did that make it coming down the home straight?
Do you know what? We're used to training this all the time, so I have no excuses. I just have to fight through it all the time, so we're all used to it. So.
Interesting year, this one, obviously being an Olympic year. How do you feel this year's panning out for you so far?
Not too bad. I normally do a big winter, so I think it takes it's time to actually peak. So I have another race now on Thursday night in Barcelona, so hopefully I can go well there with a bit of heat on my bones.
And a bit of rest as well. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, great win for Laura Crowe. Didn't she do brilliantly there? Magnificent success. And she gets another Irish victory. Down Lee side. Major action continues here, and we've got a huge field for the men's 800 metres. So Laura Crowe wins the 800 metres, 2:05.73. Only just for Michaela Nunu in second place, 2:06.06, with Nikki Hamlin of New Zealand in third.
Laura's run could end up being the story of the night. So good was it. So really exciting victory for her. As I said earlier, she's been really quiet this year, but now it may only be beginning. And she always looked like somebody who had the potential to go very close to 2 minutes, if not break it. It's still a possibility, and Rio might still be a possibility for Laura now, because she'll be buoyed up by that performance tonight. She'll be hugely encouraged.
Yeah, that was a fantastic victory, and the big races keep coming up, because we've got the men's 800 metres next, and we have 14 going in this.
In third place in the 800 metres for women, representing New Zealand, Nikki Hamlin.
Always time for a quick snack. So now the men's 800 metres at this 65th Cork City Sports.
ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation.
Lots of successful athletes from the weekend national championships. Eoin Kelly finished 4th in the 800 of the Nationals. Carl Griffin was 3rd. Mohsin Zaytouni represents Qatar. Eoin Everard 2nd in the Nationals. Niall Toohey was 6th. James Ledingham, who's on pace duty here, was in 8th place. Well, it's a massive field for this 800 metres. Irish record holder is still our friend David Matthews, who's joined us on commentary duties quite a bit down through the years, including at the last Paralympic Games. Carl Griffin, who is Euros bound, one of the 10 of the Irish Euros team for Amsterdam, who's here with us tonight at the Cork City Sports. Eoin Everard is going as well from Kilkenny City Harriers. Carl Griffin at UCD, Eoin Kelly, Raheny Shamrock. It's a very, very strong lineup.
Lots of Irish interest in this one. We got a very good 800-metre race in the National Championships last Sunday, won by Mark English, but the likes of Niall Toohey, Eoin Kelly, Carl Griffin were in it. Probably a little bit disappointed, because if any time Mark was going to be vulnerable, it was last weekend when he was coming back off injury. And I know Eoin Kelly in particular was very disappointed with his run, having come in to the race with a 1:48 PB. So he has a chance for retribution tonight, as has Eoin Everard, who was beaten by John Travers in the 1500 metres last Sunday. Eoin is looking for a bit of speed work here tonight, because he's already been picked for the 1500 in the Euros the weekend after next. So Eoin will be using this 800 metres to see where his speed is at. Quite a large field for an 800 metre race, with all the lanes doubling up there, so expect a bit of jostling and boring, and you never know, there could be a little bit of action here yet.
Yeah, fabulous field here, and there's 14 in this 800 metres. This will be fabulous to see what they're going to do in the first 100 metres of the bend, especially at the break. Lots of nationalities represented here as well. Mexico, Great Britain, Greece, Ireland, Australia, Qatar, Morocco, and Bermuda as well. It's James Ledingham, who's Westwater at AC. He's our pace man at the moment. He does a lot of these pacing duties in the big events. Coming through around in the green, it's Barlow of Germany who's up there as well, but we're expecting a lot from the Irish here.
Yeah, and it's fast from the word go. They've gone through 200 metres in just over 24 seconds. Niall Toohey has really committed to the pace here, and everybody is more or less engaged at this stage. Because it's so fast, they're well stretched out, which has eliminated the issue of falling and bumping and boring. But James Ledingham is doing a really good job here in front, and he's going to bring them through in just over 50 seconds. 51 seconds, the main group going through 52, 53.
Yeah,
Eoin Kelly, Eoin Everard well placed.
Also up there, Aaron Evans of Bermuda, and it's Perzica of Mexico is also flying well. It was a very good pacing job that was done there as the sun comes out again here at Cork. It's a very good run by Aaron Evans of Bermuda at the moment, but just look at how things are pacing up over on the far side. A good little bit of pace by Toohey on the outside in the fluorescent yellow. It's Aaron Evans who leads for Bermuda at the moment, but now the fight back coming by Ireland's Niall Toohey from Ferrybank AC, and inside wearing one is Luke Matthews as well of Australia, the fastest home performance by an Australian in 34 years when he took on Rhodesia earlier this year. Now it's really tightening up over on the final bend. Here's a great break being led by Luke Matthews, leading them home. Matthews. Barlow of Germany is in second place. Matthews taking them home, and in second is going to be James Bowness, and third will be Barlow. Great running. Fourth was Elliot Slade of Wales, and fifth to me looked to be James Bowness of Great Britain. That was very tight along the way. That was a very good performance. Good win.
That was a fiercely competitive race with about 2 seconds stretching. The entire field there was within that 2 seconds. First of the Irish was Eoin Kelly, just over 1:49. Really good race. Eoin Everard ran well, so I think everybody got what they were looking for there, a good competitive outing.
Yeah, brilliant result. 1:48.12 in the end for Luke Matthews. Aaron Evans was leading the way for most of it.
tactical, very close race.
3 seconds outside the lifetime best set this year by Luke Matthews, the Australian national champion. So away they went, and well, there was no carnage, thankfully. They were well led out by James Ledingham, the pace man. Good bit of movement. Niall Toohey stayed up for quite a bit of this. It just faded away a little bit towards the end, though, with the bell being taken by Aaron Evans. Just ahead of the man wearing 11, Petr Szelka of Mexico in that fluorescent green. And then a little bit of move, final move by Luke Matthews of Australia, coming on the outside, bombarding his way through ahead of Dennis Bauerle of Germany. But the move late by James Bowness of Great Britain in that red and white was just too late, and the Raheny man, Kieran Kelly, looking to come up as well. 4th in the Nationals, but it was victory in the end by Luke Matthews, who took the break and timed it very well indeed, and here he is.
Luke Matthews just watched himself on the big screen there. What did you think of that?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I didn't feel all that great, so I just tried to get cover for about 600, and then saw that guy from Bermuda who was getting a bit ahead, so I just thought, oh, better close that, and then tried to just finish the last 100 as best as possible. But I don't know, watching that replay, I didn't look all that great. It looked like I was reaching a bit, so I just need to get a bit fitter. But no, that was good. I'll take the win.
What do you think you have to do then to catch the likes of David Bradisha? Besides running faster?
For me, just get a lot fitter. I've still got another 6 or 7 weeks or whatever it is until the game, so get fitter, get my body used to running 144, 145. Haven't run 145 since Australia, so I need to get back to that shape and then have some luck.
I know we were just talking about it before that, but what's up next as you lead into the Olympics?
Just got a training block now for about 2.5 weeks or so. After that, might be doing Gothenburg Grand Prix, so I'll do a 1K up there, just a bit of work on my fitness a bit, and then after that go up to altitude in America, and then go down to South America for that small little games that's down there. Yeah, go down to South America for the for Rio, and then try to take on Rhodesia, but it'll be tough.
Well, good luck anyway. I'm sure you do well. Cheers, man.
Thanks, mate.
Good result for the Australian national champion as we go back to the long jump. Luke Matthews wins 148.11. James Bowness in second, 148.33, with Barla in third, Slade in fourth, Kieran Kelly, Eoin Everard, Carl Griffin fifth, sixth and seventh for Ireland.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next presentation about to take place is for the 800 metres for men, and is sponsored by the Cork.
Men's 200 metres coming up in the next 5 minutes.
The county mayor, the Lord Mayor, Councillor Des Carroll.
This features a lot of the field that we saw in the 100 metres earlier. So Kieran Elliott, Eamon Manning, Jonathan Brown and Petr Pave are the 4 listed to start this. Quite a few of those who started the 100 metres not starting now in the 200.
In third place in the 800 metres for men, sponsored by the Cork County Council, Dennis Baiule.
Ari Bragi Karlsson of Iceland, who, as we were saying, had such celebrations watching Iceland qualify for the quarterfinals of Euro 2016 last night, beating England.
And the winner of the 800 metres, sponsored
all the athletes based down in the Manor Farm this week for this Cork City Sports. So Kieran Elliott of Ireland from North Sligo, silver in the 200 metres of the Nationals. Eamon Manning of Great Britain, Jonathan Brown of Britain. He doubling up along with Elliott, along with Petr Pave of Bulgaria in this. Rainbow's out as well. Just bring you up to speed with the long jump. Adam McMullen still leads on 7:38. George Fields, USA, still second, 7:32. And Ezekiel Owolo of Nigeria still third, 7 metres 30. And there he is, Ezekiel Owolo, 7:60 his season's best, 7:85 his lifetime best. His second attempt, his best so far. This is round 4, but nobody's hit the same marks, hit the same lengths really as Adam McMullen and George Fields. From that first round, 7:38 and 7:32 respectively. And here comes Fields now. The man lying in second place, a foul in his third round.
Recent checks, the DPS engineering sponsored. In lane 2, very consistent sprinters in the last few years. From Great Britain, Edmund Anani is due to run in lane
And Fields met the board well, and that's another good solid 7-metre effort. But I don't think it's going to be an improvement. It's not really close to a 7:32. Went out to 7:26 in the second round. And a foul in no jump in round 3. Needs 6 more centimetres to overtake Adam McMullen. He's 6 centimetres behind McMullen. 6 centimetres to overtake him on countback. Here is our leader then for Ireland. Adam McMullen, the national champion from Crusaders AC. 7:84 his lifetime best set this year. So here he is, a man that many will be interested in. The national champion Adam McMullen, 7:38 in the opening round. George Fields with our 4th attempt a few moments ago, 7:25. He's been very close to McMullen, who knows there's pressure on him. If he gets the win here, it will be a brilliant achievement. Can he improve on his 7:38 from the opening round? He met the board really well. He's well beyond 7 metres again. 7:02 in the third round, and no jump in the second. Launched himself in well. They're getting into position for the 200 metres. We'll give you his result shortly. So ready for the men's 200 metres. The lanes, the middle lanes, Elliott, Adam Manning, Brown and Pave. No, they're going to have to reset. Adam McMullen, by the way, 7 metres 55, and he increases his lead to 23 centimetres. That improved by 17 centimetres his opening round effort. It's been a really great run of form for him.
Excellent conditions, but he probably has a tiny touch of a following wind, if anything, but it doesn't take away from the very good form that he's shown here tonight. Really jumping well.
So here we go, it's Elliott, Adam Manning, Brown and Pave. The 4 in this, the men's 200 metres. Elliott, Brown and Pave went in the 100 earlier. So they're away at the second time of asking. It's a very good start by the Bulgarian from Sofia, Pave, and also Brown beginning to move well in lane 5. Here comes a Manning now. Pave doing his best to defend his position, but it's going to be a solid win here for the man wearing 5. Or is it? I think he's just been edged out in the end. And Manning did take it. And Manning did take it ahead of Carrison. First and second, Manning did fight back very well ahead of the Icelander right at the death. And he gets the win, 21:28, the winning time. Very close to his season's best of 21:24. Carrison just edged out of that in the end.
I think Carrison will be happy with his run, though. He possibly would have got a personal best there tonight, and on top of his great victory by his countrymen last night, it's been a good week for the Icelanders.
Definitely is. Just edged out, I think he was, but really tight between he and Eoin and Manning. With the few dropouts, they moved them all into the middle lanes. Peter Pave got off to a brilliant start for Bulgaria in lane 6, and going well too was Jonathan Brown of Great Britain. This was the stage where Carrison was beginning to move up, but a Manning then came into his stride well right at the end. He just edged it for me, not by much, only by 1 or 2 hundredths, but it's Edmund Anna Manning who just takes it ahead of Carrison.
Birmingham, who were number 1, has twice won the 24. One of the most durable Australian athletes, and David John Martín, who's now doing the long one.
Only 3 races to go in this. They're waiting for the official result to come up. I'm pretty sure a Manning did claim it for Great Britain.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation,
But the margin very, very tight indeed.
And the presentation party will include Mr. Eddie Kent, the Finance Director of DBS Engineering, and we thank him for their support. Also in the presentation party will Mr. Frank Wally.
It's been a busy night for these men, having earlier featured in the 100 metres, but it's back to the men's long jump, and Scott Hall of Britain, 7:56, his lifetime best set this year. Hall currently in 4th place, 7 metres 17. Ezekiel Owulo is 7:30, and he got the board well for me. Has he improved in the 7:17? He's not very far away. If so, McMullen leading 7:55, Fields in second 7:32, Owulo third 7 metres 30. That was a brilliant 4th attempt by McMullen.
In second place,
Ezekiel Owulo of Nigeria coming up next for Nigeria, lying in 3rd place with 7 metres 30 in the second round. He replicated that in the 4th. A couple of 3,000 metres races and the men's 400 hurdles to wrap up the night. So Owulo needs an extra 2 centimetres to overtake George Fields of the United States. Met the board well, that'll be a white flag. He used the board really well indeed. Now that's beyond 7 metres. I can tell you Scott Hall went out to 7:22, an improvement of 5 centimetres in this 5th and penultimate round. Edmund Anna Manning taking the men's 200 metres, 21:28 by 0.02 of a second ahead of the game Icelander Ari Bragi Karlsson. Jonathan Brown was third. George Fields, penultimate attempt for the United States, 7:32 in the opening round. He's seen Adam McMullen increase that lead massively on him to 23 centimetres. It was 7:33 for Ezekiel Owulo, so he goes second, a centimetre now ahead of Fields. Time for him to fight back. Met the board well, he went well out towards the left of, he'd have seen it.
He's competed in 4 World Track Championships. He's competed in 6 World Cross Country and indeed finished.
That news won't have filtered to him before he set off on the board. It had just come up for Ezekiel Owulo, who's displaced. Fields down to 3rd place. Adam McMullen will be next for Ireland. He'll get the bulk of the home support. Don't worry about that.
Jack Hurst, you saw Jake Hurst. I imagine we'll be doing some of the pacemaking he ran with mine earlier. One of the early rivals here is a big Belgian fan, Yannick Nikiels, very popular man around the area for the last while. And New Zealand's 39th sub-4 minute
really has prospered here.
Number 6, indeed, a great name for a man who should be an announcer. His name is Eric Seaman, and he's the 39th New Zealand.
So here he comes.
Faster than 4 minutes.
Great support from the crowd. Adam McMullen for Crusaders and for Ireland. A solid lead with that 7:55 in the previous round. His lifetime best set this year, 7:84, and he's gone out a nice distance again, around 7.5 metres.
So just give you the breakdown there of the athletes after 5 rounds.
Well, potential of improvement. Really improved massively in that fourth round. Just to tell you, the women's long jump went to Rachel Bowler of Ireland. Actually, hang on a sec. Yes, Carolina Zawila of Poland winning that, 5.93. Melda Morrison of Ireland, second place, 5.87. And Elizabeth Moreland of Ireland, third, 5.68. And we saw her on the track brilliantly as well tonight. Men's 3,000 metres coming up next. Big field of 17 in this. Collis Birmingham, who's won twice here at the Cork City Sports and who's won up in the Mary Peters up in Belfast as well. Sam McEntee of Australia, Reid Buchanan, Jake Hurst of the USA. Jack O'Leary's here for Ireland too. Collis Birmingham wearing the familiar grey, along with Sam McEntee. So your full field, Collis Birmingham and Sam McEntee, both of Australia. Reid Buchanan and Jake Hurst of the United States. Yannick Michels of Belgium. Eric Speakman of New Zealand. Colin Shea and Jack O'Leary of Ireland. Joshua Tedesco, Ethan Haywood of Australia. Matt Bergen of Ireland. Ben Thistlewood of Canada. And Fergal Curtin, Luke Horgan, Jack Corbett, Mike McCabe of Ireland. There should be Peter Somba as well of Kenya in this, who's been a regular winner. There he is, indeed, Peter Somba coming up on the outside, having been so successful this year. Cork half marathon winner, Irish runner 5 miler, Bohemien 5k winner, as he takes up a good position very early on. But it's Jake Hurst who's up ahead of the rest, and Reid Buchanan in second place, with Collis Birmingham in third and Peter Somba in fourth.
The 3,000 metres has always provided good entertainment at this meet. Collis Birmingham would have to be the favourite. Him and his Australian counterpart, Sam McEntee, they have times way faster than the other guys in the field, but expect a good outing from several people. Two very good athletes from the US, sub-8 minute men. Sub-8 is top class time in 3,000 metre running, and so I would expect Collis to put his mark on this at some stage. The Australians in Europe preparing for the Olympics, they tend to base themselves in Teddington in London, and then they take in the European circuit, and Cork would be high on their agenda. They like to come to Cork here and test themselves out, and it's evident from the fields how popular Cork is with the Australian athletes. So Jake Hurst of the US is bringing them through now, 1:35.
Still 6 laps to go here. Collis Birmingham as well up to the 4 in third place. Jake Hurst leading for the United States. 7:55 is lifetime best set this year. Reid Buchanan up in second place in the purple for the United States. 7:54 is lifetime best set this year. A little bit of jostling and movement behind them, but Collis Birmingham staying right up there. And also too is Eric Speakman of New Zealand, the 39th New Zealand 4-minute miler. He's got a Wexford coach based in the United States, Andy Ronan. Jake Hurst bringing them through well. Buchanan in second and Birmingham in third. Speakman fourth. Fifth is Yannis Michels of Belgium. And they're all very nicely positioned. Good pace so far.
Yeah, they went through 800 metres in 2 minutes 8 seconds, which is bang on 8-minute pace. Birmingham and McEntee would be quite comfortable at that pace. Buchanan is there as well from the US. He's a sub-8 minute man. So all the sub-8 minute runners are up there in the front bunch, and then back in the pack is the ones chasing the personal best. In there, Jack O'Leary, who's a very fine junior, runs for Mullingar Harriers, is running European cross countries, Irish schools 5,000 metre champion, very good athlete. Mike McCabe from Raheny Shamrock, born in California, and he has declared for Ireland. His father was an Irishman, and he has an Irish passport. So Mike is here having his first summer racing in Ireland, and he's delighted to be part of the Cork package here.
So it's Hurst who leads. Buchanan in second place. Third is Collis Birmingham. Fourth is Yannick Michels of Belgium. All very tight at the moment. And fifth there, the Belgian making a good move up. It's Speakman who's fourth for New Zealand. Michels fifth for Belgium. Sam McEntee sixth for Australia. And it's Matt Bergen who's the best placed Irishman of the moment in seventh place. Just to bring you up to speed with the men's long jump, by the way, you saw the second last attempt of Adam McMullen, 7 metres 50 when he still leads, 7:55, with Ezekiel Awulo of Nigeria second at the moment, 7:33, and George Fields of the USA third, 7:32, and it's the top 3 who are left to jump in that. But leading here, Jake Hurst, Buchanan second, Birmingham third, and now as Jake Hurst steps aside with the pacemaking duty done. Reid Buchanan leading for the United States, and Collis Birmingham lying in second.
Pace has dropped slightly, 4:18 at the mile. Should have been about 4:14 if they were hoping for a sub-8. They probably will still get the sub-8 because by the look of that leading four, any one of them is capable of taking off at any stage. Collis Birmingham in second place, looking extremely comfortable, and he's been towed around there, and he's happy to sit in. But he's going to, I presume, make a move at some stage, maybe 800 metres to go.
Yeah, good move being made by Matt Bergen as well. For Ireland in the sky blue, and behind him is Michel, so Bergen is up to 5th place at the moment now. It's Buchanan who's leading for the United States. Collis Birmingham in 2nd place for Australia. 3rd for New Zealand is Eric Speakman, and 4th for Australia, Sam McEntee. It's not a huge gap, only maybe about 10-15 metres before the 5th place Irishman Matt Bergen. 8:18 is lifetime best, which ranks him in 11th place, which is why he's wearing 11, by the way. They've given the numbers out and made the rankings in this in terms of lifetime best. You can see Fergal Curtin just turning in those familiar green and white hoops down the far side, but it's Birmingham taking them out at the moment and leading the way.
Okay, Birmingham's going to start winding it up now. The 2K time suggests a time of just over 8 minutes, but Birmingham now is going to wind it up, and I expect you'll get something around the 7:55 mark in the end. Bergen of Ireland, running in the DSD vest, is running extremely well, and he looks like he's on course for a personal best. Jack O'Leary is running very fine race down the course for a junior. He's running really well, and this is a really good race, well committed, and Collis Birmingham taking it out.
Yeah, 2 laps, just under 2 laps to go. Planes flying over from nearby Cork Airport as they take off, and will it be lift off for Collis Birmingham or Reid Buchanan here? They're the 1-2. They've opened up a good lead, you'll see, of around 15 metres or so, ahead of Eric Speakman in 3rd place. Still trying to keep up pace for Australia's Sam McEntee in 4th, but they really are massively stretched out at the moment. It's Collis Birmingham and it's Reid Buchanan. A big gap between 1st and 2nd, then back to 3rd and 4th. And it's still trying to maintain the position at the moment. Sam McEntee is up there with Eric Speakman. But these are our 2 leaders, and they're looking good as they make the turn into the final bend for the penultimate time.
Yeah, one lap to go shortly, and Birmingham is having it put up to him by Buchanan. On paper, he's 19 seconds faster than him, but at the bell, there's nothing between them, and Buchanan looks poised. Be interesting to see what Birmingham has down the straight. He will be acutely conscious that Buchanan is in there behind him. He probably doesn't know a lot about him, probably doesn't know is he capable of a kick, and Birmingham, I would suggest, is under pressure.
It's Birmingham and Buchanan who jousting between the 2 here. Battle for 3rd between Sam McEntee and Eric Speakman, but it's Collis Birmingham who leads here with 200 metres to go in the men's 3,000 metres. It really is very tight. Collis Birmingham leading the way ahead of Reid Buchanan. This is a very, very good contest. They've recruited very well for this race. They look as if they'll break 8 minutes, but will Birmingham beat Buchanan for once and for all here? Buchanan trying to come on the outside for the United States. Buchanan's coming to try and beat Collis Birmingham, and Buchanan's on the way to get the win. It's Reid Buchanan of the USA, 5th in the NCAA, 10,000 metres this year, 29.14. He wins. Collis Birmingham is in 2nd place, and 3rd will be Eric Speakman, and 4th in the end was Sam McEntee. But it's Reid Buchanan who gets the success, gets the win. He did very well. 7:52.51 is a new lifetime best. He's taken over 2 seconds off that. And Collis Birmingham, who's a 7:35 man, lifetime 7:54 this season. Well, he ran 7:54, but it wasn't enough to get the win here. Reid Buchanan takes it instead. Great race that was.
Oh, that was a great race. Buchanan got a personal best out of that, so he's going to be thrilled. I think Birmingham maybe underestimated him, waited too long, didn't realise how good he was, and he just couldn't hold off the sheer pace of Buchanan in the home straight. Good run though. They really wound it up near the end to get down to that time of 7:52, because with 2 laps to go they were looking at about just marginally under 8 minutes. So to get down to 7:52 means they ran that last lap extremely fast, probably 56, 57 seconds. That was a really good race. 3,000 metres is a perfect race for a meeting like this. It's long enough to keep you interested and not too long to make you bored.
Great contest between those two, and Reid Buchanan gets the win. Collis Birmingham, 15th in the heats of the World Championships in Beijing. He was 13th in Moscow, but he's second here behind Reid Buchanan, and that was a very, very good win indeed. Eric Speakman in third, Sam McEntee in fourth.
Nor should we forget Matt Bergen, who ran really well. I think he was first Irishman across the line. He ran about 8.5, 8.6, so that was a personal best for him.
Speakman did very well for New Zealand also. He's currently fourth in the pecking order for New Zealand for Rio. Those results are still being collated. Adam McMullen, by the way, has won the men's long jump for Ireland. 7:59 his final attempt. That was the longest of the night. Finished ahead of Ezekiel Owolo of Nigeria, second, 7:33. And George Fields of the USA, third, 7:32. But we saw his two previous best efforts, and both would have been enough to win him the gold. Men's hammer being won by Roberto Saez of Costa Rica, 69.44. So Reid Buchanan wins the men's 3,000 metres, 7:52.49, ahead of Collis Birmingham of Australia in second, and Eric Speakman of New Zealand third, with Sam McEntee fourth, and Matt Bergen, the best of the Irish. He was fifth. Colm Sheehan seventh, Jack O'Leary eighth. So the men's open 3,000 metres we're watching out for now, and this is Barney McCulloch wearing 8, Jack Corbett wearing 1, Stuart Maloney is 2, Kevin O'Brien 3 of East Cork AC, John Collins 4, Tim O'Connor 5, Donald O'Callaghan 6, Haywood Richardson 7, Barney McCulloch 8, and Kevin Moore 9. They set the gun off very early on this, by the way. This is actually 10 minutes ahead of schedule, I can tell you. This was supposed to get underway at 8:40, but they've decided to get the men's open 3,000 metres done and dusted here very quickly. So our paceman leading them through for Moorabbey Milers in the purple singlet, that's Stuart Maloney, and on the outside for Dundrum, that's Kevin Moore in the yellow and black, but it's Barney McCulloch of Limerick AC who's in the blue, currently taking the lead spot behind our paceman.
Yeah, this is largely a Munster championship made up of athletes from pretty locally around Cork Kerry region, and comprise the field. Jack Corbett would be the fastest man in the field. He's 8:45, so he's looks like the man to beat. But you never know in a race like this who's in form, who's improving, who's going to produce the goods on a night like tonight.
Well, that's why they call it the Open Men's 3,000 metres, I guess. The season's best among this group is Jack Corbett of Templemore AC. Next fastest, Stuart Maloney of Moorabbey Milers, wearing 2 in that purple singlet. Kevin O'Brien of East Cork AC, he's the next fastest, 8:54 man this year. But in a good position for Skibbereen AC in the white and in the red hoop. That's John Collins, he's run 8:55 this year. Tucked in Donald O'Callaghan of Von Richt AC and his club colleague Tim O'Connor. They both run 9:06, 9:07 this season. You'll hear the name of Collis Birmingham being announced, not claiming victory in the men's international 3,000 metres this year. But Stuart Maloney of Moorabbey Milers, he's taken up the position pretty much at the front behind our paceman, Barney McCulloch in the blue, and now he'll move up ahead. Stuart Maloney of Moorabbey Milers is in the lead.
Yeah, they're going through 1,000 metres now, 2:59, just under 9 minutes would be very good time for these guys. And I'd imagine they all have that on their mind to get sub 9 And there's a good pace there, good group, all working together. And on a night like this, they should be able to keep that pace going. The man from East Cork, Kevin O'Brien, moving up to 3rd place. He looks very comfortable.
Yeah, Stuart Maloney has the advantage here. Kieran Doherty, who'd been at the front all the way, moving back. So Stuart Maloney leads. It's John Collins in 2nd place. It's Kevin O'Brien of East Cork AC lying in 3rd. In a really good position. But the man in the blue, Barney McCulloch of Limerick AC, still not out of the hunt. And the Rigged AC athletes as well. In 5th place, that's looking like Tim O'Connor there. So it's Stuart Maloney still has the advantage with 4 1/4 laps to go in this men's open 3,000 metres. At the rear of it is Donal O'Callaghan of Unrigged moving up. Haywood Richardson of Lee Vale. Kevin Moore of Dundrum. Kieran Doherty up there as well. But 4 laps to go. And it's Stuart Maloney who still leads for more Abbey Milers with John Collins of Skibbereen in 2nd place.
Yeah, Stuart and John have a small gap there on 3rd place, Kevin O'Brien. And if Kevin doesn't close that soon, he may be in danger of losing contact. And then the rest of the group, as a consequence, will go back a little bit. So the first 2, they look like they have the rest of the field under pressure. That's Stuart Maloney and John Collins. John nicely poised. Stuart is a nice runner, nice style, and as has John, but they're going through the mile now, 4:43. It's not surprising that the field is dropping back because the pace has upped a little bit over the last 600 metres, and they're running well under 4 minute or a 9 minute pace at this stage. So that's what has caused the gap there back to Kevin O'Brien.
It's been really strong running, leading from the front for Stuart Maloney of Moore Abbey Milers. John Collins in 2nd place. You can see Kieran O'Doherty staying up here. He'd been to the forefront throughout, but now he finds himself just somewhat slipping back, wearing 18. It's between Stuart Maloney and John Collins now. We've got 3 laps to go in this men's open 3,000 metres. 3rd position, Kevin O'Brien of East Cork AC. Then Barney McCulloch of Limerick AC in 4th place. 5th is Tim O'Connor of Reacht. 6th is Kieran Doherty. 7th is Kevin Moore of Dundrum. 8th position is Haywood Richardson of Lee Vale. And 9th is Donal O'Callaghan of Unreact.
Yeah, big gap starting to open up now between Stuart Maloney and John Collins back to the rest of the field. Kevin O'Brien starting to struggle a bit. And it looks like the race is between these first 2. They're going through 2K 5:54. So you're looking at about an 8:50 pace at the moment. And the 2 boys are in a right battle. Stuart has kind of set himself up really because John Collins is just drafting off him. And it's a case of whether Stuart can put in that one little burst that will break the elastic and get him away from John Collins. I think John Collins is thinking, I'm just going to hang in here as long as I can and see what I can produce at the finish, whereas Stuart is stretching it out. He's just trying to break that elastic, as I say, that's holding them together at the moment.
Kieran Doherty stayed up well, by the way, in 3rd place, but here's our 1-2 leading them out. Stuart Maloney of Moore Abbey Milers, John Collins of Skibbereen in 2nd place. Re-emerging from Letterkenny, Kieran Doherty is lying in 3rd place, and he'd led for a good few of the early laps. Late entrant, and those with the highest numbers have generally all been on pace here, but Doherty's definitely not working on that tonight. Lying in 3rd place, going in a good position. Tim O'Connor back in 4th, Kevin Moore in 5th, but it's Maloney who's still taking it up for Moore Abbey. 8:50 he's run this year. He'll do very well, I think, if he can get anywhere close to that tonight. And now he's opened up a really good gap with John Collins way back in 2nd place. And he's made his move for home, Stuart Maloney, with a lap and a half to go.
I think Willie will get close to that 8:50. He's really accelerated there now. He's broken that piece of elastic I was talking about to John Collins. Kieran Doherty is closing very quickly on John Collins. Kieran is very fast. So this race is not really over because hard to know how much Stuart has left. We're going through the bell. 7:39. Should have enough of a gap there on Kieran. He's got 4 or 5 seconds on him. Should have enough to hold him off. Very good run actually by Stuart Maloney because he's run the second half of the race faster than the first, and you'll always hurt the opposition if you can do that. Kieran Doherty is actually a Masters runner. He's in his late 30s. A very fine athlete through the years. A good steeplechaser. Has world veterans championship medals, European championship medals from the veterans category. He always had a very good turn of pace. You can see how strong he's finishing. Stuart, big, tall, rangy kind of athlete, and he's should have enough. I'm sure he has enough to finish, and it's a very good run by Stuart Maloney.
Yeah, that's showing you how big the gaps are right along the field. He's really popping now, Stuart Maloney, but there's only one more turn left. Then the final straight and victory will be yours. Kieran Doherty's absolutely gliding up behind him. He led for the opening few laps, then fell back massively. I'm not sure he has much left in the tank. Stuart Maloney and Abbey Milers is coming through to win the men's open 3,000 metres. Good win it is too, and it's 8:47.70. That's the season's best for him. Kieran Doherty is in second place. Third is John Collins for Skibbereen AC. Fourth will be Haywood Richardson of Lee Vale, and fifth for Dundrum is Kevin Moore. Puts a massive amount into that, and at one stage looked as if he might have tied up before the end, but one final gulp with 100 metres to go. Lots of resolve, good pacing, and he's got the win. Stuart Maloney of Abbey Milers.
Yeah, Stuart will be well pleased with that. He got a personal best time. You can't ask for any more than that, and he won in a big meet before a good crowd, and he'll be very pleased with that. 8:47 is very good running, so he's obviously progressing well as an athlete. That was a really good race and great entertainment.
8:47.70. Good pacing it was from him at the front. He took up the story very early on. Kieran Doherty had been out there the first few laps and then stepped back and fell back quite a bit, actually. You can see there, fell back to around 6th or 7th. But Stuart Maloney going away with John Collins for a bit and then really massively extending it. There was the bell, and then Kieran Doherty began to move up, came up into second place behind Maloney, comes through to get the win. 8:47.70. Doherty in second place, and it was Collins in third. He did enough, he had enough there in the end, just about. Taste of success for Stuart Maloney. Very, very well done, actually, I have to say. Kieran Doherty really pushed him hard right towards the end.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we finish up, can I ask you please to give a big round of applause to the Lee Vale basket bearers who have done a fantastic job all evening, making sure all the athletes hit is there on time and in the right place. So thank you, Lee Vale bearers, for doing a fantastic
He did enough, he had enough, and he has the open success. One more event on the track, by the way. It's a men's 400 metres race. Listed as a junior, though Ben Kiley is in it, and mainly engineered to see if some of those in it can qualify for the World Juniors in Big Gush next month. Well, quite a lot missing from this because of the Irish National Championships over the weekend. The UK Olympic trials, the US trials on as well, and the European Championships on next week. So many ways from all corners the fields hit here, but again, an excellent crowd. I mean, the main stand full here, which is brilliant on a night like this, Dick.
Oh, well, this is a long-established meet, and the athletes, they always know that they'll be well looked after, and they enjoy coming here, and the Cork public generally respond and come out and appreciate their efforts. So why wouldn't you want to come down and compete in the Cork City Sports and strut your stuff? We've had some really good races. The two 800-metre races were really good. For me, the highlight of the night was Laura Crowe, her return to form and that great run into 2:06.
So the men's 400 hurdles, Dan Finnerty of Nina Olympic, Owen Parr of St. Joseph's Kilkenny, David Clancy of Abbey Striders, John Hogan of Abbey Striders, and Ben Kiley. As you can see, there's been a change in the last two lanes.
And the winner of the 3,000 Open for Men, sponsored by
But overall, it's been a very, very good event for you then, despite the fields being knocked down a little bit, I fear. David Clancy here of Abbey Striders wearing 27. The World Juniors target, by the way, is 53.20.
We have sported and played needing green, shady shade or whatever of another wonderful sports, and this is how to bring our final excitements of the track. We have 5 athletes. Dan Finnerty in the orange of Nina in on the inside.
So Dan Finnerty of Nina is in lane 3, Owen Parr of St Joseph's Kilkenny in lane 4. David Clancy of Abbey Striders in 5. Oisin Fitzpatrick, Nina in 6, and Ray Walsh of Abbey Striders is in lane 7. We're looking at Dan Finnerty here from Nina Olympic. Oisin Fitzpatrick is the senior here, and the rest are juniors. Oisin Fitzpatrick wearing 30, who's trotting back very quickly. David Clancy of Abbey Striders wearing 27. And this is the last event of the 65th Cork City Sports. Hope you've enjoyed it as usual. Roberto Sayers winning the men's hammer, by the way, 69.44 for Costa Rica. Michael Bombas second for Great Britain, 63.73, and Thomas Furlong third for Ireland, 61.67. Women's long jump won by Karolina Suwila of Poland, 5.93. Imelda Morrison second for Ireland, 5.87. Elizabeth Moreland third for Ireland, 5.68. Men's high jump was won by Ryan Benefice of Britain, 2.07. Finished very early. Michael Hartley of Britain second, 1.98. Dion Ryan and David Cusson joint third for Ireland, 1.93 each. So targeting the World Juniors in Bydgoszcz at the Krakowiak Stadium, 19th to the 24th of July, 53.20 required. So we're away, Finnerty in 3, Parr in 4, Clancy in 5, Fitzpatrick in 6, and Ray Walsh in lane 7 in this men's 400 hurdles. Oisin Fitzpatrick, remember, is the senior to make a bit of competition of this. He's got away very well on Fitzpatrick, and David Clancy as well. They're going well in lane 6 and 7 at the moment, and Ray Walsh tying up in lane 7, and he's pulled out for Abbey Striders, so he's gone at the moment, and we're down to 3 then. Yeah, we're down to 3 because I think, yeah, somebody else has gone. So now we're only down to the final 3. It's Owen Parr in the lead, ahead of Damon Clancy. It's Dan Finnerty up there as well. Oisin Fitzpatrick and Ray Walsh find it far too tight, and so too is Clancy. He's struggling. So it's Owen Parr who comes through, and Owen Parr is going to get the win ahead of Dan Finnerty, and the time will be 55.80, and it's outside that World Juniors target of 53.20. But that was a good win in the end for Owen Parr, but basically 3 of those 5 found the going very tough in the end.
Yeah, certainly a race of high drama there with two dropouts on the back straight, and third guy there struggling over the final hurdle. So good win for Power, but not fast enough, unfortunately, in the night.
Yeah, you have to go down and join Tulsen for the closing wrap-up here in the next few minutes, but we are just about done. That's all of the action from the 65th Cork City Sports, and the final race won by Owen Parr. It's been a good event. The crowd's excellent here, very, very enjoyable to see, and despite the fact that a lot of the main Irish not here tonight, quite a few were, 10 of the panel for the European Championships, 52 strong, and our 3 Olympic walkers here as well. But yeah, it was extraordinary as Fitzpatrick and Walsh over on the far side succumbed very early, and just look at Damon Clancy Yeah, that's where the wobble happened, and he was out of the equation there. Dan Finnerty taking it up with Eoin Power. Finnerty clattered the hurdle. Power, who finished 8th in the senior nationals, 55.59 by the way. 48 hours ago, 55.80 unofficial, his winning time here. 55.76 has been rounded down to for Eoin Power. Dan Finnerty in second, and Dermot Clancy in third, and Oisin Fitzpatrick and Way Walsh, DNFs. And for the World Juniors in Bydgoszcz, which has taken over as the venue from Kazan, the action there just over a month's time. It's a fantastic summer of sport. Don't forget, Morton Games coming up 22nd of July. We'll have that for you in YouTube Live again. Highlights on Setanta Ireland, Irish TV, Fox Sports channels in Africa and Europe as well. Netherlands, Turkey, Italy, Greece, 25 nations across Africa. They'll have the highlights along with the channels in Ireland and the UK. Next week, it is the European Championships in Amsterdam, a 52-strong team. August, the Olympic Games in Rio. September, the Paralympics. So much to look forward to here, but the 65th Cork City Sports are over. Let's go down to Tulsen for the wrap-up.
Well, thanks, Will. Dick Hooper's hot-footed down here from the commentary box, and Dick, it was certainly an outstanding night. The weather held for us, and there were some really good performances.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good meet. Some really good performances. For me, the highlight of the night was Laura Crowe winning the 800-metre women's. I was just delighted to see her back. She's been quiet this year, and she ran such an intelligent race because the New Zealand girl had won the 3,000 metres earlier. She was bound to be tired, so if you think, that's the thing to do. Hit her hard from the word go, and Laura, superb run. The mile, I suppose, because we didn't get the sub-4, we're always a little bit disappointed, but it was a very competitive race, and Ryan Gregson showed his class. The 3,000 metres was a good finish, good competitive race there as well, and overall, very good meet.
Word on Jason Smyth and the 100, it did tighten up a bit towards the end there.
Yeah, but it was a really strong 100-metre field, and equally the 200 metres was a really good race with 2 personal bests, I think, in first and second place. So.
People might have said that we had a weakened field compared to other years, but I thought they certainly lived up to the standards tonight, and it's been as good as any other year.
Look, the strength of the fields doesn't matter as long as there's enough people there and you get competition, and that's what we got tonight. We got really competitive races, right up from the 100 metres up to the 3,000. There was good depth in there, people competing, and competition is what it's about. Let's forget about this incessancy with times all the time. Let's have good competition, let the crowd go home happy.
And the Irish athletes who are on their way to the European Championships, there was some good performances put in tonight.
Yeah, Eoin Everard ran a good 800 metres, and he'll be happy with that because he's going in the 1,500 metres. The women's sprint team, they got a good workout, and it was great to see them all just willing to compete against each other. So, loads of positivity to take away for the long drive home.
Dick, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks very much for your company. Thanks for your company at home for watching. Don't forget, in a few weeks' time, it's the Morton Games up in Santry in Dublin. That's something to look forward to. But for myself, Dick Hooper and Will Downing, until next time, it's bye for now. Bye-bye.